We're going to try our best to take as many questions as we can. We have 45 minutes to 1 hour. 45 minutes to 1 hour, inshallah. Let me just go quickly to different countries. Try and keep it in English, please. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Amna from Sweden.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Sir, I'm from Sweden, and all the things that are happening here. The Paludan boy who's burning Quran and everything. And I just have a question around that, because I don't know how to deal with this, and I really want to do something, and I'm really confused because it's another thing that they are hurting our feelings and all that, but now it's too much, and everywhere we're trying, and people are trying to make it illegal, that he shouldn't do this, but it just comes to free speech, and it just said it doesn't stop. And another question I had was, the person who invited him here to Sweden, he was political. He's in the parliament right now. So the message he sent to this man was that I don't think that Turkey would be angry if we burnt the Quran, but they would be more angry if we burnt the Turkish flag. And I'm just like, how is it possible that they really think that? How can the Quran not be as important as the Turkish flag? Like, it's so obvious to them that the Quran might not have the same feelings for every Muslim, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm just confused. I don't know what to do. And I'd really like your thought. Sorry?
How old are you?
I'm 30. I'm born and raised here, so.
Were your
And I'm
parents
still
born and
confused.
raised there?
No, they came here like 50, 60 years ago, so they've been here quite a while.
Where are you from, India or Pakistan?
Pakistan, sorry, sir.
Have you been to Pakistan?
Oh, yeah, many times.
Who says that, did that guy in the parliament said that if the Turkish flag was to be burned down,
Yeah,
they would have?
exactly, yeah. He's a member. Yeah, he's a non-Muslim. He's one of the member in the Sverigedemokraterna. I don't know if you know, it's the most racist party right now, who's elected in the parliament. So yeah.
Yeah, I know. Everybody knows about that.
Yeah.
Tell me, just because he said it doesn't really make it true. No Turkish person alive right now would be furious about, the Turkish flag being burnt more than whatever is being done. It happened in Norway before. Now it's Sweden. Tomorrow it's going to be Finland, then Denmark. Well, I'm surprised that it's not happening often enough, especially in Holland and Belgium, where they're actually trying to ban Islam altogether, as a religion.
Exactly.
So it's not a debate that Muslims are having often enough. Most Muslims are having a debate as to how much of a savior the left wing is for them, Muslims. And they actually are falling head over heels in love with the leftists who are complaining about this sort of a thing. And they're not realizing that whatever complaint that the left has towards these sort of events is not based out of anything that the Muslims represent. Left is complaining about this sort of an event based out of a totally different agenda and an emotion, which is tied to their central pillar, which Muslims are totally against.
Yeah.
Left wing is going to do similar, if not more, damage if they were to be uh, practicing or enforcing the laws that they want to enforce. And there are not many governments which are leftists, which are currently ruling uh, in the world, which matter, of course, in the West. So wherever they are ruling, it is causing more damage to the Muslim identity in those countries. You need to understand that. Joe Biden signing off that document most recently is a far bigger damage to Muslim identity in America than this obvious evil, which even the Christians would believe, even the atheists would believe that this is an evil act. This is preposterous. So the ideal thing would be to for all Muslims in the world, all Muslims in the world, to start a process through which our kids, ourselves, would understand how to curb this the cause of this sort of an event to happen. Okay. Now, Muslims did not cause this. You need to understand that. No matter how many times people would want to blame Al Qaeda or ISIS or whatever, Muslims are not the cause of this sort of evil activity to happen. It is the bigger political agenda, which can be debated whether it is a religious uh, agenda or a very, very a-religious agenda that the West actually is pushing into in the name of science or whatever they want to call it, to liberate all human beings. So it is not the right wing, extreme racist parties in the world that are causing this sort of evil to happen. It is actually the philosophy of the West, the liberal leftist West, that is causing. That's the cause. And if you just ponder over just 20, 30 minutes over why and how these sort of events happen, you'll find out that it is the that's how this sort of evil actually manifests. That's why this sort of evil actually manifests wherever it does, be it New Zealand, where this psycho goes into a masjid and starts shooting, be it Norway, where he comes out, this old dude, or this Dutch politician that has nothing but an agenda against Islam, even though whatever the problems he has from Islam, there is a far bigger problem that even Christianity is causing for that person, the way he's approaching, uh, you know, the way his worldview is created. Now, if I were in Sweden, I would have been gathering up a lot more clusters of Muslims around all Scandinavia, not just Sweden, around all of Europe, not just Scandinavia, around the West, and even back home, wherever the Muslim population is. I would have been a lot more active in creating a stronger cluster, in creating a deeper awareness, in connecting human beings together to make sure everyone knows why and how this sort of event actually takes place. How long does it take for this sort of an event to take place or to happen, so that we can make sure that it does not happen, not just by persuasion and generating a higher level of empathy in these psychos, in these freaks, in this evil that lives inside the philosophy of certain individuals, but to make sure that we intimidate, that we literally strike a philosophical line between these sort of people who are politicians mostly, who are people of influence mostly. They use social media or they actually write books that instigate this sort of an element inside non-Muslims or atheists or certain ethnicities, or doesn't matter who. You need to understand this is human psychology I'm talking about. I am not talking about any sort of politics here, even though I am a politician. Every Muslim is. It is a game of influence, and Swedish Muslims are just being emotional for a very temporary, on a temporary basis. Scandinavian Muslims and all Muslims in the world, because the same event happened in Norway, and the effect of that event did not last more than a week. So I am not going to be convinced by the flurry of superficial emotion that is flying around the Muslim world right now over this event, because this event, if anything, is going to immune and get Muslims used to these sort of an event. I do not want any Muslim child or a youngster, especially girls and boys in their teens, to take this lightly. And since people in their 30s and 40s are going to get busy with their own lives after no more than a week, that is the actual problem. Him burning the Quran is not the actual problem. Us not doing anything about it for more than just a week's cry and hue over throwing away emotional statements on Twitter or Facebook or whatever you guys are using, all of us are using. And instead of doing something concrete about this, getting all Muslims together, no matter how we can actually get them all together, and to make sure that we act as a single organism in front of the world as all Muslims, from Australia to Alaska, from Brazil to Siberia, from England to Cape Town. We all have to, at least a certain kind of people, to come together, because all of us are not going to come together. Okay, let's be realistic. But people who actually have that sort of a deeper understanding of how things are done, why things are done, and what kind of a force is behind all of this, and why is this force applied. So, because these guys are not just regular folks. Because if we're just a regular Joe coming out of his own emotional decision to do such a heinous act, it would have just happened once, maybe twice. But it is happening every other week in every different country. And it's all happening against Islam. So we need to connect. We need to make sure that we connect, not only to swear at other people. No, that's not the way. That's not going to help anything. But to understand and develop IQ, the IQ of every Muslim child, every Muslim youth, as to how to look at and generate a very clear and crisp worldview, so that anyone who looks at Islam to even think about daring to damage any part of our fabric of Islam, he would be intimidated the hell out of getting that act together. So us going emotional is just not going to cut it. I am not going to buy this, these I'm not going to put any weight in the tears of Muslims right now, because they're going to dry out before their next paycheck comes in those countries, in those currencies, which are pulling all Muslims in those countries, because that is the bitter and God honest truth. We need to understand what is actually the problem of Muslims, with Muslims, inside Muslims, about Muslims, not what these non-Muslims are doing to the Quran or Islam, but what Muslims are doing to the Quran and Islam. That little freak is just burning the Quran. We are actually burning the essence of Quran every single day. And no Muslim cries about this. We are literally running away from the Quran, which is a far bigger event. And that's why nothing can be done about these freaks in Holland and in Sweden and in Norway or in America or Canada or even Pakistan or India or wherever. So let's put the blame on the real leadership, which is within us, Muslims, and stop hiding behind our own tears. We are hiding behind our own tears, finding solace in just crying, looking up in the heavens, thinking that we're just servicing Islam by just crying about this. Us protesting in our own countries, in our own streets, that is not Islam. That is the exact opposite of Islam. Muslim pride and Muslim grace is flushed down the gutter when we go to our own streets to protest for just a couple of days or a maximum of a week and start writing sad stories in newspapers and on social media. That's the real problem with Muslims. We really are suffering from a far bigger disease than those non-Muslims which are suffering from just hatred against Islam. Let's admit the truth. Let's admit that the stick is broken so that we can fix it. Girls of your age should really, really know where the problem is so that when you're going to raise your sons and daughters, they would be raised in true Muslim identity, who would know exactly how to create the right influence in the rest of the world. You are in the center of influence. Sweden actually initiates most of the philosophy, most, if not all, of what the left of America or Canada or even all of West is following. Sweden is that important. I'm hoping that you do know about the depth of these words. So you need to understand the problem of Islam, that Islam is suffering from, is not non-Muslims. It is not America or India or Israel. Problem that Islam is suffering from is Muslims, the current mindset of Muslims, the greed of this planet and the fear of death. The Prophet said, you will be in billions. Right now, you're in hundreds and thousands. You will be in billions. The world rests under your feet right now. But you will be in billions and you will be butchered like a little animal. Like he actually gave the analogy of roasted chicken. And people will be just taking bites off of you and you won't be able to fight because you'll be dead. This Prophet was asked by the companions, Ya Rasulullah, how would that be? When we're going to be in billions, the Prophet said, because you'll be suffering from wahan. The companions asked, Ya Rasulullah, what is wahan? Because the Sahabas, the companions never even knew of such a concept that Muslims in billions would be taken over by the rest of the world. They'll be feasting upon us as if we're just cooked meat, literally cooked meat. The Prophet said, wahan is the love of this planet and the fear of death. The love of this planet and the fear of death. Now you can choose the real definition of what is left and what is right. No matter what kind of politics you want to do, this is literally the definition of how to identify the true left and true right. So it is us, Amina, it is you and me. That's the problem. We are the people who are burning the Quran. That man just happened to torch it. We are the one who gave him the gasoline and that matchstick. We, Muslims, we cannot shy away from the truth when it comes down to our akhirah. So you better make sure that you start to take all the blames of everything that is wrong upon your own shoulders so that you can try and fix it yourself. The day you're going to stop blaming others is the day you're going to start fixing things. It is a very low self-esteemed Muslim or any human being that actually looks for excuses to blame others. I do not want Muslim women, especially girls of your age, to get their concepts wrong about this core concept of how to look at human behavior. I want you to understand how a Muslim would behave. But before that, you should understand how a human naturally behaves. So the day you're going to take the blame of that freak who is burning the Quran, that I, Sahil Adeem, is responsible for that. That's the day I'm going to try and fix it and internalize this blame. Take ownership of this heinous act. Take ownership that it is because of me. Whatever is happening against Islam is because of me. Unless I internalize this, I'm not going to be able to fix it. So it is a very simple solution. Tough, very tough, but simple. And I have actual hope from Muslims in the West, because Muslims back home in India, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Kuwait, North Africa, Arabia, those people are just dying to be in the West. They're not there because they didn't get the visa. You guys made it. You can call back home and tell everybody else it was not worth it. You're in the center of, not the West, you're in the center of Wahan. You need to understand that. We have made Wahan cool. That's the bigger problem. And that's the problem we better start solving for our little ones. Stop making this kind of thing cool, because these sort of events are going to be masked under our own castrated psychology. And we're going to make excuses of not doing anything about this. Everyone has his own list of excuses, from New York, from Miami to Manila. Everyone, girls and boys, parents or sons, daughters or grandmothers. Every Muslim man and woman has his own list of excuses as to, hey, you know what can we do? What can we do? We are the ones who are doing all of this. So people in their 30s, those are the people at their prime of not just their intelligence, but their energy. You need to start to connect everybody. Start generating discussions which are going to raise the IQ of Muslims, especially our kids, so that they can understand what is the true reality, and they can generate a more clearer worldview, so that they can actually be demanding those skills that are going to equip them on the pedestals of competence that is going to drive the world, so that people can be afraid of doing anything against not just Muslims, but Islam. So no more crying about this. Please don't cry about this. Cry about the bigger crime that is being committed by Muslims.
Sir, here, whenever we try to discuss something like this, especially as Muslims who try to invoke something around other Muslims, it's always like we're pinpointed, and the biggest fear we have here is that the government will take our kids away, because that's it's happened so much here.
It's away? What does that mean, away? What do you mean away?
They take kids from families who are known to be violent or to be extremists, and they take those kids and put them in other social homes where maybe Swedes or any other people will take care of these kids who are yours. And that's like the biggest fear I have, seriously. But even though I like today we were discussing this issue with
How many kids
Paludan
do you
and
have,
everything.
Amna?
Sorry,
How many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids, 1 daughter and 1 son.
Hold on, let me get this straight, Amna.
Yes.
What you're saying is Sweden is going to take your kids away. That's what you're saying, okay?
Yeah.
So you're going to let Sweden take Islam away.
No, I can't. No.
Did you not just say that?
Yeah, I did, but I can't let them do that. That's the thing.
Let me repeat this for everybody else. Mommy's in Sweden. I'm gonna be afraid to. Okay, what if tomorrow there's a law that prohibits you from doing certain actions of Islam? Then what are you gonna do?
I don't think I can follow those rules because right now hijab is very
Whoa,
controversial.
whoa. No,
Sorry.
let's not talk about hijab. Hijab is not, no. Let's not talk about
Okay,
hijab. Okay?
okay.
You know exactly what I'm talking about,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
right? Or not? Du förstår icke?
Jo, jag
Huh?
förstår. Jag förstår.
Yeah. So Sweden is going to make a law that is going to. Okay, hold on. Let's just reciprocate this. Hold on. So unless Sweden forces you to go into Islam, you're not going to do that. That's what you're telling me. You know that? Du förstår?
Ja, nu jag förstår.
Well, there you have it. That's Sweden.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what you're saying. Unless Sweden forces me to Islam, I'm not going to practice Islam. Otherwise, they're going to take my kids away.
Sahil, assalamu alaikum.
You know what? Let me just add a little to it. So your mother, when she was taking you to Sweden from, I don't know where you're from, Islamabad, Lahore, Karachi, whatever. Okay.
Lahore.
Okay. So from Lahore to Sweden, you're in what city?
Stockholm.
Okay. Why am I not surprised? So Lahore to Stockholm. So your mother took you away from your family from Pakistan to Sweden, and Sweden is going to take your daughter away to Sweden. So where was Islam left in all of this 2 generations? That is the 3rd generation. What's your daughter's name?
Inaya. So
Inaya. What's your mother's name?
Abida.
Abida. So from Abida to Inaya, right?
Yeah.
Sweden came in the way between Abida and Inaya, and now Abida chose Sweden and Sweden chose Inaya. Think about it. Food for thought. Yeah. So where did Amina go? That's what my question is. Okay. I know what Abda did, and I know what Sweden's going to do to Inaya. What did Amina do in all of this? That's the real question you're going to solve. Okay. Otherwise, Inaya is going to stand in the day of judgment, and she's going to put both of you guys, Abida and Amina, that who gave you the right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
That's the problem. That's why I keep telling you, every Muslim has to be together, or enough of us, to raise the IQ of Anayas so that they would know. Because Amina, in less than 10 years, Anaya is not going to listen to you anyway. Okay? She's going to be too old and too wise, and she's going to actually justify based on whatever rationale Sweden is cooking up right now, because Sweden cooks up its own rationale. New definitions of everything, Ironically, I don't know what happened to Sweden, how it happened. It's a tiny little country. It's calling the shots on so many things. Case study for all Muslims. If only Sweden can do so much in all of these 2 billion Muslim countries. You just, what I'm saying? It's what the bigger problem? The bigger problem is those Muslims don't even want to feel anything about this. Those are the real problems. And that comes to, in the hierarchy of all of this is those Muslims who are actually feeling about something. Actually, you know what? This should be a number one. Muslims who feel something bad about whatever's going on and not going to do anything about it. That's the cluster I'm actually against, Like, who are you trying to put an act for? Yourself? Allah Azza wa Jalla, really? Or rest of the Muslims?
Sorry, the Stockholm Imam, he was also like quite leftist. So he was like, yeah, no, Turkey shouldn't be, so they shouldn't boycott and everything. And it was like he was representing all the things that he shouldn't. He was not intellectually answering anything that the interviewer was asking him, but he was like. And when I asked my friends about this discussion, and they were like, yeah, it's good that he answered like that, because Islam is peaceful. We should answer peacefully. We shouldn't be violent. Like, okay, we shouldn't be violent, but we shouldn't sit and do nothing. We should do something. And then they came up with this thing that, yeah, your kids will be taken away. What will you do? So there's the confusion. Like, I'm trying to make them understand.
I'm really, I'm picking a lot of bones against Maulvis in Pakistan and India, but I swear to God, I fall in love with all the Maulvis of Pakistan. And everybody hates those Maulvis in the West. Muslim in the West hate those Maulvis in Pakistan and India, right? But you fall in love with them when you look at American or Western Muslim clerics sitting in masjids. I swear, it's like, what happened to you guys?
Yeah, so true.
It's like, what happened to you guys? Who died and put you on the pulpit? It's that obvious. 12, 13-year-old kids in New York are just laughing at their imams. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And you know what? Their IQ is generated by YouTube, for God's sakes. And they have the sense to understand that this dude is reading. He's not saying anything. He's reading a script. And I can understand when the whole political body is against a certain masjid to say certain things, and certain things he cannot, of whatever political correctness. These dudes in Stockholm and in New York or Toronto or Sydney, their local establishments don't even know what this dude is talking about. You know what? He's afraid of his own demons, his own deportation. He thinks, someone's listening in on him, and he's trying to please that certain agenda that he knows what the agenda is out there, but no one's listening to his lectures. He's just giving those politically correct lectures so that he can stay and he can keep the passport. I think most of them don't even have passports; they're just living off, So I'm just saying, we all know what's going on. Muslims in the West of it. That's why I keep looking at you guys. You have way higher of an IQ than this local Pakistani. And you guys are the one who actually defined political correctness. All of a sudden, you guys became so peaceful. You know what? That's not peaceful. That's numb. Stop calling it peaceful. Start calling it numb. Do you know what I'm saying? Because as soon as these Western Muslims are sexually harassed or politically harassed or harassed at work, all of a sudden they go to court. They're doing whatever they can, in some of the lawyers are surprised as to what kind of an acumen and talent this guy or girl has, man. All of a sudden, when it comes down to Islam, you know what? Islam is just peace, nothing else. Okay, I hear you. Yeah, Amish. community has a lot more guts. They've shown a lot more grit. They've shown a lot more vigor than the Muslim community all over the world. Amish, Western Amish. There Amish in Sweden? Are there any Amish living in Sweden?
No, not that I know of.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You know who the Amish are,
a
right?
small town. Yeah.
You know the Amish, right?
Yeah, those. Yeah.
Those Christians,
Yeah.
turn the other cheek. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's mostly like atheist country here, so
Nah, it's not about atheism or Christianity or whatever. It's about Muslims, okay? We somehow have become Pauline Muslims. Let's start calling it hashtag Pauline Muslims. Turn the other cheek. Islam is peaceful. Okay, I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
The same kind of tide is running in Pakistan, India, trust me. But, since when you're in the majority, your ethnicity is actually prevalent, you tend to be a little more, a little higher in self-esteem than wherever you are in a minority. I can understand that. But that's why I'm saying wherever Muslims are in minority, this is the formula. Write this down, everybody. When you are in a minority and you need your kids to have a higher sense of self-esteem, sense of their own self and higher confidence in their own self-worth, you cannot remain a minority then. How do you not remain a minority in America if you're a Muslim or in Canada or Australia or wherever? Well, then you create a bigger club of community, your own community, over, a bigger sphere or wherever we are connected in social media now. As soon as your kids are going to be connected to the rest of Muslims, all of a sudden their sense of being a minority in Norway or Scandinavia or England or wherever, that's going to go away. Where do you think the minority syndrome comes within the minority and devastates their self-esteem? Because they do not get the sense of their own philosophy in the place that they're living in. And that's not going to give them the sense of the Quran because they're not designed on the sense of the Quran. Okay. So for our kids to get the sense of the Quran so that their self-esteem is well established, they need a wider majority of people acclaiming, validating, and talking about how true this book is, how valid this book is, how relevant this book is. And that's called the intellectual discourse. And how are you going to do that? You're going to connect your kids and the global community of Muslims through the internet now. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you're born in Amna, you're born in Sweden. So you always were a minority. In your class, you were what? One of 28 girls? Maybe 2 Muslims? I don't know. I was not there. You know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden, you were comparing your house with your school, and you knew that unless you give up a little bit of your house inside your school, you're not even going to make a single friend. You made that decision all your life in Stockholm. That's what breaks the self-esteem of any human being, not just you, anyone. So what do? Well, the damage has been done with us, but we cannot afford to let that kind of damage be done to our kids. So what we do, we connect them to a global community. And that's what I'm trying to tell every mother and father. Hell, we're trying to actually develop this IMS, this Islamic messaging systems through which we're going to connect every Muslim together. Talk about relevant things. Otherwise, they'll be bored out of those groups. Okay, they cannot be boring groups with regular Muslim clerics talking in their slow tone like a professor with irrelevant things, just talking about, how to be kind to your mother or your father. That's not something our kids want to hear. They already know that. You got to step it up a lot more so that we can speak in their grammar about things that matter to them. That's what's needed for our next generation. That's called the Islamic messaging system. Start making clusters so that your kids can be inside those clusters. They can talk about serious questions. Most of the Western Muslim kids do not have any sense of those answers that their own classmates are asking about Islam. And since they don't have the answer, they come back home and mommy doesn't know nothing. Daddy's not home because he's making those big bucks or whatever he's trying to do. And this boy or girl just loses it. That's where we need to connect them to those forums, those groups which talk in the language of that child who's a teenager and gives them the perfect answer in the perfect time. Otherwise, it's going to be too late. I know my generation. I mean, when I was growing up in America, Canada, it was too late. Nobody had the answers. And I used to go to the masjid, talk about these things. That dude was just about that Stockholm Imam. You know what he used to do to us? Hush, hush, shh, don't talk about this, for God's sakes. Who you been hanging out with? I'm like, I don't know nobody. Peter and Paul in my class. That's who I'm hanging out with. This question came from Peter and Paul. Why are you thinking that I'm ISIS or Al-Qaeda, for God's sakes? I ask a straight question. That this dude is so afraid, you know what I'm saying? In his masjid. Why do you think he's afraid? Because he thinks they're letting him in his country and letting him stay in this country. And as soon as he's going to talk about Islam, they're going to kick him out. That's the problem. Our kids are asking more candid questions than Osama bin Laden himself. Our kids in Toronto, in Finland, in Norway, they're actually asking the right and more candid questions straight up than any Osama bin Laden has ever asked. Those are true and right questions. Atheists ask these questions. Christians and Jews ask these questions. No religion has nothing to do with it. These are natural human questions. Where is Islam servicing us? Show me the bigger solution to all of the problems that Scandinavia is suffering from. Quran has that. I swear to you, it has that. But no Masjid Imam is going to be looking at it from that perspective. He's only be like, okay, 20 people in the Jummah prayer, okay, how to make it 200. That's his agenda right now. And all of those American and Western clerics, you know what they're trying to project? We all know what they're trying to project. So kids have stopped listening to all of those, I'm not going to name any of them. Because some people are going to stop listening to this podcast because of this negative psychology. But we all know who I'm talking about. Give them sugar-coated pills, the placebo of Islam, so that, people will be you know what their rationale is? Well, people will be at least doing what they're doing now. Otherwise, they'll be throwing away because we don't want to give them all of what the Quran says, because they're not even at the first page of the Quran. We want to at least give them something. Really? And you really chose that something which is going to keep you in that country for long enough to keep giving them something. So we all know what's going on. It's all right. I mean, at least we admit what the truth is. That's our job one. So our kids will be like, yeah, you know what? We already knew that. I swear to you, a 12-year-old, 13-year-old going to say that. Dude, Daddy, I knew. I just didn't know why you were hiding it all of your life. Our 14-year-olds know the truth. They know way more than the last two generations combined. They're laughing at all this sheikhs and sheikhas and those Islamic conferences. It's like, what are you afraid of? And I'm talking to those teenagers in America right now. Every other day, I have sessions with teenagers. They're laughing it out. It's like, what are they afraid of? I'm like, yeah, I know. The fact that makes me, gives me hope that you're going to make the big change through political force, getting everybody together, create the big influence. That's the big war. The next war is not going to be fought by guns and tanks and missiles. No, it's going to be fought through words and rationale, influence. We can make this world a Muslim world, I swear to you. Through who? Through swift thinking brains, which our kids are naturally going to adopt into. Okay, so make sure you understand that one dude burning the Quran, no. Us hiding the Quran, that's the bigger problem. Muslim, Ammis and Abus. Muslims, Ammis and Muslims, Abus, hiding the Quran. That's something to be sad and to cry about.
Yes, sir. Sir, do you know your schedule when you're coming to Sweden?
I was delayed because of the. It's no, it's still on the Sweden was going to be last anyway, so I don't think Sweden days are going to be changed. It's going to be March, inshallah. Right after Ramadan, we're traveling, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah. We'll meet then,
But
inshallah.
I do not know the dates for Sweden. You're going to have to create your own cluster and give us the venue, and the timing will be there, inshallah. Okay.
Yeah, I had asked Wasif sir, and he said that when I will get.
We're creating since there's so many invitations, there's so many invites. I've asked Mahin, to my teammate who's taking care of this itinerary, quick announcement to everyone who is looking forward for those sessions and who is looking to arrange a certain cluster of people to come in and talk about this and discuss serious questions, generate serious IQ of their own people and their kids. You need to be in a certain group. Mahin is going to add you in a certain group. Just WhatsApp us or email us. Yeah, email us. That's a better idea. Email us at volunteers@sourcecode.com.pk with a subject that you're looking to arrange a session, and we're going to add you in the group so that everybody can help everybody in getting that sense of that arrangement. This is a free tour, so you don't have to worry about this. But you would need some sort of a help to understand how other people are arranging it so simply. Okay. You need to understand this.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very
So
much, sir.
volunteers, no problem, Amna. And make sure you start the first step through yourself. Okay. Volunteers at sourcecode.com.pk. I'm going to speak a little bit of Urdu now for everybody else, because the Islamic messaging system, we just emailed. We got about 7,000, some 8,000 emails, and then we replied with a form so that you can fill out just a 3-step form so that we can include you in the primary group. And most of you guys are not replying that email. What kind of expectation do you think I'm going to have from those volunteers? आप लोगों ने email की है कि आपने volunteer Islamic messaging system में volunteer करना है. हमने उस मेल के रिप्लाई में आपको एक मेल की हुई है, उसमें एक लिंक है, 4 स्टेप का एक फॉर्म है, ताकि आपका नाम, आपका कंट्री और आप 2-3 चीजें ही उसमें, और उसके थ्रू आपने हमारे व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप्स में और हमारे टेलीग्राम ग्रुप्स में और हमारे डिस्कॉर्ड के पूरे ग्रुप में एंटर होना है, 1 स्टेप एट अ टाइम. और आप लोग उस फॉर्म, उस ईमेल का रिप्लाई चेक ही नहीं कर रहे हैं. वी हैव द रिपोर्ट ना, हमारा तो ईमेल सिस्टम इंटेलिजेंट तो बताता है. More than about 4,500 people have not even read the email that we replied to the email addresses you sent us email through. So ऐसे तो काम नहीं होगा मुसलमानों, यही तो मसला है मुसलमानों के साथ. We just sleep on everything. Okay, don't do that. This is real stuff. This is as critical as it gets. So हमें अब क्या हो रहा है, हमारे WhatsApp लिंक्स के ऊपर लोग ऐड हो रहे हैं, खुद ही वो डायरेक्टली उसमें आ रहे हैं. जो प्राइमरी वॉलंटियर्स की लिस्ट हमने बनानी है, जिसका फर्स्ट वीक ऑफ फरवरी में हमारे ओरिएंटेशन सेशन स्टार्ट हो जाने हैं, उसके लिए आपने ईमेल बॉक्सेस चेक करें जिन्होंने पहली ईमेल की हुई है. उसके रिप्लाई में हमने आपको ईमेल में एक लिंक भेजा हुआ है, प्लीज उसको कनेक्ट करें. उसमें पूरा हमारा एक विजन, मिशन सारा बताया हुआ है कि व्हाट इज आवर पर्पस, हाउ, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ कैटेगरीज आर वी गोइंग टू स्टार्ट दिस होल मैसेजिंग सिस्टम ऑन. आप लोगों से डिस्कशन करनी है ना, प्राइमरी वॉलंटियर्स का प्रॉपर एक स्ट्रेटजी रूम बना रहे हैं हम, जिसके थ्रू आप लोगों ने स्ट्रेटजी बना के डिस्कस करनी हमने. दिस इज नॉट अ वन मैन मिशन. इस्लाम इज नॉट अ वन मैन मिशन. ओके, सो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस. सो मैं दोबारा रिपीट कर देता हूं, जिन्होंने volunteers@sourcecode.com.pk पे मेल की थी कि वी वांट टू वॉलंटियर एज पार्ट ऑफ दिस वर्क फॉर अल्लाह अज़्ज़ा व जल, कि हमने भी इस इस्लामिक मैसेजिंग सिस्टम में आना है, उन्होंने रिप्लाई, जो उस ईमेल के रिप्लाई में मेल आई हुई है, उसको प्लीज चेक करें अपने इनबॉक्सेस में, चेक करें अपने स्पैम फोल्डर में तो नहीं चली गई है प्लीज. मोस्ट ऑफ यू गाइस डिडंट चेक दैट ईमेल. दिस इज, और हमारे पास जितने भी इस वक्त 7-8 हजार बंदे हैं इस वक्त, जो वो व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप से आए हुए हैं, जिन्होंने फर्स्ट ईमेल की हुई है, उन्होंने उनमें से सिर्फ 2-2.5 हजार 3 हजार बंदे वापस आए हैं, बिकॉज उन्होंने रिप्लाई चेक कर ली हमारी. ओके, सो आई होप मैं माहिन से कहूंगा वो इसमें भी लिंक लगा देंगे, इस वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन में भी व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप के लिंक लगे हुए होंगे. लास्ट वीडियो देख लें इस चैनल पे, सिंपल आर्ग्यूमेंट पे, उसमें व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप के लिंक्स लगे हुए हैं, उसमें आप क्लिक करें, ग्रुप में ज्वाइन हो जाएंगे. हमने इस वक्त एडमिन ओनली रखा हुआ है ताकि एकदम लोग चैट से ओवरवेल्म ना हो जाए. वी विल बी ओपनिंग चैट फॉर 2 hours एवरी डे फ्रॉम फर्स्ट वीक ऑफ February. 2 वेबसाइट्स बन रही हैं इस वक्त, दोनों के ऊपर इंटीग्रेट होगा पूरा इस्लामिक मैसेजिंग सिस्टम. इट इज गोइंग टू बी रन बाय एन IT कंपनी सो दैट स्ट्रक्चर और प्रोसेसिंग ठीक रहे. और अभी हम व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप्स के ऊपर आप सबको अलाइन करके एक ट्विटर पे या ट्विटर स्पेस पे या और ये कॉल क्लब हाउस उसके ऊपर, क्योंकि उसकी लिमिट्स ज्यादा है, तो उन सब पे आपको बुला के आपका ओरिएंटेशन सेशन रखना है ताकि हमको बताएं हमारा मिशन क्या, काम क्या करने आपने. वी आर गोइंग टू बी डूइंग सर्टेन टास्क थ्रू यू गाइस, वेरी सिंपल टास्क्स जो घर बैठ के सेल फोन पे करनी है आपने, कि लोगों को कनेक्ट कैसे करना है, मैसेज आके कैसे पहुंचाना है, डिस्कशन फोरम कैसे खोलने, किन टॉपिक्स पे करनी है, और टॉपिक्स पहले आपसे डिस्कस करने हैं. हमने बना दिया एजेंडा हमारा, वी आर वेरी क्लियर एज टू हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू टेक द नेक्स्ट 100 years प्लान. वो उसके एक एक कैटेगरी करके हमने चलना है. So we want you guys to come in quickly. We need as many as we can. First week of February is the cutoff for primary. उसके बाद हम primary को काम देंगे कि वो आगे से secondary volunteers को अपने clusters कैसे बनाने हैं. Okay. So I hope everyone's clear. We'll go to different part of the continent, different part of the world. Sorry, not the continent. Let's leave Europe and go to America. We'll go to Michigan. Assalamu alaikum, Michigan. Sorry.
जी वालेकुम सलाम. जी
Yes.
वालेकुम सलाम. जी साहिल, मेरा नाम नवीन है और मैं 44 ईयर ओल्ड हूँ. यहाँ पे मिशिगन में होती हूँ और मैंने आपके सुनने के बाद यहाँ पे ये स्टार्ट किया था, अरबिक ग्रामर का ग्रुप स्टार्ट किया है ख़वातीन में. और इसके अलावा मैं एक स्कूल में भी, हिफ्ज़ का स्कूल है यहाँ, वहाँ बच्चों को पढ़ाती हूँ, मैथ और साइंस पढ़ा रही हूँ. तो वहाँ पे भी हम देख रहे थे कि 8th ग्रेड तक ऑनलाइन स्कूलिंग चल रही है और उसके बाद अब हाई स्कूल में बच्चे जाएंगे. तो उसके लिहाज से मैं सोच रही थी कि फिर बच्चे चले जाते हैं, तो क्या आप समझते हैं कि हाई स्कूलिंग में मैं देख रही हूँ कि ज़ाहिर है बच्चों के ऊपर बहुत असर पड़ता है और यहाँ पे नहीं है ऐसे हाई स्कूल जो सही किस्म की यानी पढ़ाई हो रही हो. इस्लामिक स्कूलिंग तो बिल्कुल ही सवाल, यानी 1-2 स्कूल्स हैं, बहुत महंगे हैं. तो आप क्या समझते हैं कि इस सिलसिले में क्या कर सकते हैं कुछ? मैं अपने बच्चों के लिए भी बहुत परेशान थी, बहरहाल मेरे बच्चों का तो हो गया ऑलमोस्ट.
मुझे तो सवाल नहीं समझ आपका. हाई स्कूल में डालें या ना डालें बच्चे? Naveen? Where is Naveen? It's very hard to find people in my list. It keep changing. Okay, we have let me find Naveen. Please write your country's name. So weird. This Zoom thing does not really. Sure. Close this. Naveen, let me find you. मैं आता हूँ आपके पास. तो मुझे आपकी लिस्ट में इतनी जल्दी पॉप अप हो रही है ना मेरे सामने. कौन है अनम्यूट पे?
Sana.
Sana, where are you from?
I'm from US, Dallas.
Okay. जी सना बोलें. अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
जी, अस्सलाम वालेकुम रहमतुल्लाह.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम मतलब.
जी, ऐसा मैं सर मुझे ये पूछना था कि I have a problem like I think a lot to do something, but the thing is I cannot but I cannot take initiatives. अंश नहीं था क्या इसमें? अंश नहीं था?
You start with anything, okay? मैं आपका सवाल नहीं सुन सका. You start with anything. That's what we do. Procrastination हो रही है. I think that's what we're talking about. But I'm going to get your question if you can reiterate it. जी. आप unmute है? कौन है unmute?
Assalamu alaikum. This is Hadia Omar. I'm from California.
Okay. What's going on here? First there was Naveen, and then are you?
So I just got this
Ji,
notification
Hadia.
to unmute myself. Yeah.
Yeah, because the list keeps popping up, so we scroll so fast. Maybe that's why. Ji Hadia.
Okay. No worries. So I just want to explain a little bit about my situation over here. So we have created a few clusters over here in our community among the high schoolers, and also like we have ladies group, our book clubs, Islamic book clubs, and we are studying on our own. So I have done my the Talim al Quran course from Al Huda Canada online. So since then I've been like connected with that and trying to forward all the knowledge that I've gained and trying to improve myself based on that. And as far as high school, we call it halaka
Hadia,
groups over here. Yeah.
what's your question?
So that's why I'm coming to my questions right after this. So we are more concerned about our high schoolers. We have like a couple of families over here. So it's kind of once a month. So I have listened to what you said that you are coming. So do you have any plan coming to California?
Yeah, actually, that's where we are going to come first, inshallah, in America. I think Houston, and then I'm not so sure about what part of California, but it is California in the plan, inshallah. Where are you in California? It's a big place.
I'm near San Francisco, northern side. Yeah. So 40 minutes away from San Francisco.
I don't know. There are two people who are actually working on California sessions. I'm going to ask Mahin to see, or Wasif. But there, California is in the docket.
Any idea, like in March, April?
Yeah, right after Ramadan, we'll be traveling. Paperwork like that. We need a formal invite, okay? So that
Sure.
yeah, there has to be a very complete, because it takes a lot of time to get all of those travel documents ready.
Yes. So what do you suggest? Do you suggest to have a session? I mean, purely like solely with high schoolers, excluding the families, or family session would be better?
Well, it's not a focus group, but we would prefer that families are together when we're talking to kids. But
okay,
if there is a possibility where kids session is done separate, that's done for a very customized need. These kind of sessions, you're going to be a little swift, 3 hours spurs with Q&A.
Okay.
But
like for example, like maybe like the whole session would be combined, families all together, but for the Q&A session, if we can separate the kids, because I think they would open up more if parents are not around, then they can.
Yeah, the kids I talk to in Los Angeles, and kids I'm talking to in El Segundo, and even San Diego. Yeah, no, San Jose. Yeah. That's those kids are not going to worry about whether the mom is listening or not.
Yeah, but so there are all kinds.
Yeah, it helps. It helps. I'm going to be hosting a teenager session in Houston, inshallah. That's how it started, by the way. Okay. So yeah, same kind of thing can be done in California, but you really need to be specific, and you need to be really arranging it really well then. Okay.
Sure. So would it be like any specific topic, or just Muslim identity we're talking about in journal?
No, this is there are three categories. Okay, we're trying to actually raise the IQ of Muslims in the West, especially youth. So we're going to be talking to parents a lot as to how to actually inculcate certain techniques in parenting their little ones, which are early teens, pre-teens. That's the parenting side of things. And then how to put Sira inside the attributable structure of parenting, so that they can actually, character building mostly, and identity creations, self-worth, self-esteem development, confidence development in the Islamic side of their identity, so that they would actually, become as assertively bold in their own self as any other community in America or wherever, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's something which is missing. And
Yeah.
we want to use the flavor of America, because America has a lot of things to give, which I wish more Muslim countries can give to their citizens, you know what I'm saying? In terms of openness and liberty to think, that is something which is an asset. So we're going to couple this with the values of Islam so that kids can actually, be using that momentum of America. Or not just America,
Perfect,
but
yeah.
England, or,
Yes.
because England is way more in the game than America. So that's what we're trying to do. But Muslim identity, pure Muslim identity sessions are, I think, 3 or maybe 4 who actually demanded कि हमें Muslim identity tour का session चाहिए, describing the whole structure, the psychology of things, and how self-esteem is developed in not just kids, but adults, literally, like functioning 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, you know what I'm saying? So different sessions, different categories. We cannot mix categories. मैं parenting session के अंदर बच्चों का session तो नहीं कर सकता ना. Parenting session में सिर्फ बच्चों के session ही, parents के session ही होने चाहिए ना. So Muslim identity के लिए हमने एक cut off रखा हुआ है कि वो 14-year-old plus को लेके आए, so that he can be, utilizing those tools we're going to give them.
So teenagers that I'm talking
they're
about,
all thought building sessions. They're not training sessions. They're thought building sessions.
Okay, so they're like 14 till 18 years of age, all high schoolers, 9th till 12th graders.
When you said they, who are they? You have a cluster in mind?
We already, that's what I'm telling you, that we already have a cluster here. We get together, all these kids, we get together once a month. We were doing it, it's been 6 years now, and we've been doing it every Friday. Now it's once a month after COVID. So when COVID happened, so we were doing it on Zoom. We didn't stop it. And we call out different scholars over here, local scholars, youth scholars mostly. So they talk about different topics, and mostly kids, they pick the topic. There's an anonymous Google form that they just sign up for any topic they want to talk about, any social issues they are having, and how to connect that, getting answers of those issues through Islam. So we already have these clusters over here built and working. So we would love to have you over, and if you can get connected with this youth, that would be great.
Inshallah, yeah, that's the plan, that's the mission. And just in case, God forbid, कि आपका वाला share, you were in San Francisco, right? So if we miss out on that, we can. Okay, what's the place? What's the name of the place?
San Ramon. It's in East Bay.
Okay, San Francisco it is then. Okay, so we can have
it's near Danville, and maybe
online.
you're more familiar with Danville, Fremont, so in that area, in East Bay.
Not at all. No.
Okay.
Even though you'll be amazed, I actually lived in California once. But no, I'm not familiar with anything there. So just in case we miss out on that, we will have a lot of time there, because we'll be spending session time in different cities. We can have an online session. However, that's not the plan, because that's not going to cut it. Kids don't listen to this online broadcast. Okay. So hopefully.
So meanwhile, while we are waiting for you to come, any suggestions? How can we improve these clusters?
Trust me, Naveen, what's your name?
Hadia Omar.
Hadia?
I'm also your EI student. Yeah.
Ask your kids, and they're going to teach you how to get a big cluster. Are you kidding me? You should know how to generate bigger clusters and generate more number of people inside your groups online.
We are doing that. Mashallah, we have the community is growing every single day. I'm talking about improving in sense like how can we be more productive Muslims? Any ideas like what else we can do? What else we can add?
Class? Are you in my EI class or CT class?
Yes, EI.
Yeah, okay. You and I are going to talk about this, because आप तो मेरी class में ही है ना, तो मैं उधर आपसे तफसील से बात करता हूँ कैसे. Okay, let me just take another person now.
Okay, sure. Jazakallah khair.
Okay. पहले बताना था ना, हदिया आपने कैलिफोर्निया लिखा हुआ बस.
Oh, you were looking for America, so I said it's better to
No,
get
no,
to
good,
that.
good, good call. See, now you know how to play this. See, you know
Yes.
exactly how to play this. So you
Yes.
gotta do this.
You, mashallah, you trained us really well. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair. May Allah,
Uh-huh.
bless you for all your hard work.
I mean, chale, Adya, I'll see you in class tomorrow or the day after. परसों ही है कि तो
Day after, yes, Sunday, yes, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Jazakallah
Okay.
khair.
Barakallah feek. Let's just go to Russia. See, first time going to Russia. Assalamu alaikum, Moscow or St. Petersburg or wherever. Ali Khan. You need to unmute Ali. Okay, 5-second rule, Ali. Okay. Now I can see the chat now, but Arslan, I cannot find you in my list. Okay, let's see if you are the same Arslan.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम
Assalam. Arslan.
सर अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह सबसे पहले तो अल्लाह का शुक्र है कि मेरी आपसे बात हो रही है ये मेरा एक बहुत बड़ा ड्रीम पैदा हुआ है और इस तरह मैं लाइव जब आ रहा हूँ और लाइव सेशन भी चल रहा है वक्त भी कम है और आई एम लिटिल बिट नर्वस टू टॉक टू यू अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह और सेकंडली तकरीबन 18 महीने से मैं जर्मनी में आया हूँ आई एम 33 इयर्स ओल्ड
Okay.
या और मैं सिर्फ ये पूछना चाहता हूँ कि मैं जहाँ पे ये खड़ा हूँ और मुझे क्योंकि मैं आपके सेशंस आपकी हर एक छोटी से छोटी वीडियो के हर एक लफ्ज को कान जिस्म दिल सब कुछ सुन रहा हूँ और बहुत गौर से सुन रहा हूँ सर
अल्लाह आपका खुलूस कायम रखे सवाल करें ना
आमीन शुक्रिया जी मैं इस पोजीशन पे जीरो पे खड़ा हूँ मुझे बहुत अजीब ऐसे ख्वाब आ रहे हैं जो मैं डिस्क्लोज नहीं कर सकता मेरे मुसलमान कब्र क़यामत एक्सेट्रा सेशंस और सारा कुछ मुझे कुछ नहीं समझ आ रही आपकी जो स्पीचेस है सब कुछ वहां से मुझे किताबें पढ़ने को मिल रही है लेकिन आई एम सो मच कंफ्यूज्ड मेरा 7 महीने का बच्चा है मैं अगले 10-15 साल में उसको जीरो पे देख रहा हूँ क्योंकि मैं खुद जीरो पे खड़ा हूँ क्या मुझे इसमें सजेस्ट करें शुक्रिया
कितने साल का बच्चा है
7 महीने का अभी फिलहाल
और
7 months
कितने बच्चे एक ही बेटा है आपका
जी अभी एक ही बेटा है क्योंकि मेरी अभी तकरीबन 2 साल से जो है वो हम
Okay.
मियां बीवी
So
साथ हैं
you just moved to
जी
Germany.
जी
Well, you have a couple of years to really jump into certain things before he starts asking questions and find an Arabian community. So that बच्चे को
या
अरबी के ऊपर तो
जी
बच्चे की लैंग्वेज के ऊपर फर्स्ट काम करना है आपने, okay?
जी
Give it a couple of years, 3 years, when he actually, grows into those Arabian friends, so that, and if you can find out an Arabian physically going to school there, that will be job one for the child, because uski age hi hai ki usko language sikhai hai. But during all of this time, you and your wife really need to polish up on the Sira and the Quran. Okay, start with tafsir, and well, start with Sira, and then because Sira is going to take what 2-3 months, and then you're going to jump into tafsir. But till then, make sure आपको पता हो दुनिया में क्या चल रहा है ना, so you can actually know कि बच्चे के अगले problems क्या आने वाले हैं in terms of living in Germany, in Europe. You know what I'm saying? So it's a problem most German Muslims are going to go through कि Arabian community ढूंढना मुश्किल होता है, अंग्रेजी वैसे ही नहीं है वहाँ पे, तो it's France and Germany and Switzerland. English is not the primary there, and ज़्यादातर internet जो है वो English में है, so they don't really feel that comfortable. So you really need to go into Arabic right away. Okay, right away. Kids in America can get away with it because बाकी सारे Muslims English बोल रहे हैं ना, so मसला है German language में most Muslim speakers are not speaking German. So you really need to put extra effort in getting him into linguistically capable to understand Arabic as soon as you can. Okay. Abhi nahi, of course, abhi nahi. When it's going to be 2.5, 3. Okay. Okay. Aslan. Zoom is not helping me tonight. Okay. Let's just go into. I just missed Canada. Gee, Muslim from Mississauga. Muslim from Mississauga.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalam. Gee, Muslim. Okay, now I'm Muslim.
नाम मेरा मोहम्मद है लेकिन
Okay.
I've started
Okay, I get it.
referring myself as Muslim now. Okay. So the question is related to one of the instincts that we have, which is
One of the what?
Instincts.
Instincts. Okay.
Yep. So it's related to the instinct of sanctification. So
Yeah.
is there any way we can be mindful of this instinct all the time, and if we can control it by any means?
It'll help you more than it's going to hurt you. That's what I'm going to tell you. It'll
How is
hurt
that?
you, but it'll help you more than it's going to hurt you.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's instinct. So I'm not going to give you a long session on this. I can, but and I should. No. It's a natural gift that we're born with. We tend to block it subconsciously because of whatever superstitious fears that we develop over our time, and we try to draw out patterns of our own behavior, and we see that it's hurting me, and we therapeutically decide to wither it out of our system. We cannot, but it is going to help you more. It has helped you. That is how we grew up, and that is how we generate worldview. Otherwise, we would have over-taught our own selves to pretty nihilistic points of view. But we generate super confidence, and you might have noticed a lot of people who do not know much are very confident the way they actually decide about certain things, a lot of things, and they judge people sooner, they judge situations sooner, because they think this is the only way. This is their primal instinct. But most people don't do that. Most people know that, things are a little more complex than the way I have actually, experienced. And by the time you're 12, 13, maybe 15, you generate a lot more complexity in your own thought process. Okay. And then you try and challenge your own self and try and put yourself into self-doubt. And that actually helps to not just be so instinctively simple, or simplicity of instinct. It takes a little more time for you to believe in your own self. And then, of course, you shouldn't, because things are a lot more complex. For example, relationships, for example, politics, for example, certain strategies that you really need, which are complex in order to survive and to grow and to develop yourself. So it's not that simple to be coming out of certain situations or going into certain situations, which are inevitably going to be a part of your permanent life. Okay, let me just, you're right in front of me. I don't know why. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So
the reason I ask you is because somehow it feels like the environment that we live in tends to have a lot of effect on this instinct, but we don't. We actually can, but the environment can.
What did you just say? Environment can and we can't. आप म्यूट कर रहे हैं खुद क्या?
I don't know, somehow just when I stop speaking, it mutes me. The reason I said it, so some people, so what I've understood about instinct of sanctification is you need someone to look up to, right? That's the instinct.
That's the philosophy of it, but that's not.
Yeah.
Okay, what chale theek hai.
So somehow, I mean, sometimes people have, let's say, footballers they look up to. Sometimes people have religious speakers they look up to. But that's mostly depends on which environment they are growing up or what they are into lately. But I was just wondering if we can, somehow channel it towards something knowingly, that so that we have the right personality or right idol to look up to.
Okay, naam kya tha?
Muhammad, yes.
I'm trying to, I swear, this is my instinct of simplicity right now, in action right now. I'm trying to actually see कि किधर से वो source पकड़ूं कि जिसमें मैं, how can I actually explain it to you, because there's so many people listening and there's so many are going to listen to this video. I want to make sure जो scientific method है ना, उसको मैं किस तरीके से how do I put forth in front of you. And I'm looking at the lowest common denominator right now of whoever is going to listen to this. And I don't want to tune out while I'm talking. And that's the method I actually do apply, by the way, every single time. Now, do you know about the deductive method in a little bit of a detail of how to actually interpret the mimicry of your own idol?
Do
you know how people do that? By the way? Why people do that?
Is it because of how they? I mean, depends on how they observe things.
Not just observe, but to experience it. Okay, that's the word. In philosophy, they use this word. Okay.
Yeah.
Something to be simple or adequate. You know what I'm saying? That's what they balance the whole thing. What is adequate or okay, I'm lost for words because of I'm trying to interpret certain things so that I can translate the whole thing as simple as I can possibly make it. But you and I need to talk about this in a totally different forum so that I can explain it to you one-on-one. Okay, I'm under a lot more pressure as to how and why are you even talking about this when most people are not even going to get it, because I mean, it's a pertinent question. That's why I'm keep on talking to you about this. But you really need to give me a lot more data as to how eloquent you are in understanding the thought behind this philosophy of simplicity versus, or the methodology of looking into the scientific method. Okay.
No, all right. So I'm not enrolled or in any of your sessions or anything. So,
no,
but if you are coming to
it. No, yeah, I'm going to be coming here every day. So
yeah,
just write this down as your question, as your name, so I can pick you out from the crowd. Okay.
Perfect.
Because yeah, but yeah, but it is pertinent, and this is something that boys and girls should know. This is a good angle, I mean, this is how science actually progressed. You know that, right? I mean, it's a lot more. I mean, I'm telling you this right now. Simplicity is in philosophy the most sophisticated, concept and phenomena. And you really need to understand why I'm using these words so that you can actually put a lot more complexity of thought into making them as simple as possible. And that's how human mind works. Now, I don't want to tune out most of the people. You might have noticed that I'm trying to evade going into detail. But
Yep.
as I said before, it's going to help you more than it's going to hurt you. And it is going to hurt you because a lot of times you won't be able to connect with your own pedestals of achievement or whoever has made that achievement and you want to walk that path. Okay. You see where I'm coming from? And that's what we call idols, by the way. Okay. And then you
Yep,
try and tread the same line to make sure that certain kind of events that happen to that person or that idol of yours would happen to you, and that construes as a part of your achievement, even though those are not supposed to be achievements. There could be turmoils, which he actually, fought while he was doing whatever he was doing to get whatever he got. Okay, so
Yep.
yeah, so it's not as much of a curse, but it is in the definitive philosophy of whoever tries to write anything about this. So it's a little bit of a sophisticated concept, but when you're actually going through that kind of developing that sense of achievement of anything, then you need to be really careful in defining whatever is an achievement versus whatever is just cold triumph or a victory. So most victories are not achievements. You need to understand that. And and kids, boys, even girls, they draw out a certain sense of achievement based on whoever their idol is, and that is a bigger problem than because it hurts the very definition of achievement. Okay, so we're going to have to talk about examples, you and I, so that you would know exactly, or I would know exactly how you look at it, so that I can actually connect the dots. And then most people will benefit from it. Right now, no one's benefiting from you and I talking right now. Okay, and that is exactly
I can understand that.
Philosophy. Yeah, this is what the core of this philosophy is. You know what I'm saying? So, is it adequate for everybody who's listening? No, it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
So,
I get you.
How old are you?
28.
Yeah. Okay. So you'll know exactly how to put it next time we talk. Okay.
Inshallah.
So,
Jazakallah
yeah.
khair.
Barakallah feek. Yeah. So, last question, please. Let's go to Pakistan. Yeah, I'm kidding. Kamran from Sweden. Oh no, I just went to Sweden. Abdullah from England.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu.
Yeah, thank you for giving me chance. This is second time I'm here for the question again. Jazakallah. So as the first sister asked today, the first question, basically I am in UK right now, but I have the choice to move in and start my family. So basically I'm 28 years old. I'm not married yet. So after listening all of your lectures, you give the idea that, of course, the Pakistan is not suitable for Islamic State to live in as well. And here we live in also these states, and considering the future of all these Western countries, I don't feel like establishing my family in these kind of states. So what and last time you suggest me to read the Muhammad by Martin King as well. So I was reading that book, and when the Muslims start to have the religion, practicing the religion, the pagans of their society had quite of the atrocity on them. So the Nabi Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam asked them to move to Abyssinia, the first migration. So my question here is, what would you suggest as a practicing Muslim to establish a family in a state or in an environment with less of the evil forcibly. So where should one could migrate in a form not perfectly as a hijrah, but better than the Western states?
It's just me or everyone's actually asking very complex questions today. So you want me to decipher the reasons of why people do hijrah or should do hijrah?
Yeah, like why I'm asking, like, where should I consider to migrate considering all the factors, and I already know what the future gonna be living here. So
Where are you
where
from,
should...
sir? Pakistan?
Yes, Pakistan, Karachi.
Okay. किधर जाना चाह रहे हैं आप?
So I mean, I had your lecture on the lumps as well. People are migrating for the Islamic State in Afghanistan. I mean, I don't practically believe it's ideal state to migrate in, but considering all the factors in the future,
Why? Why do you want to migrate?
because I don't want my family to be influenced with the all kind of things I can't be controlling. I couldn't be control them, because things will be going
कितनी
out
उम्र
of...
हो गई आपकी?
I'm 28 years old.
बच्चे हैं?
No, yeah, I'm not married yet. So
So
that's
you're
why...
worried about
Yeah,
kids you're gonna have in future.
yes.
You know the girl you're gonna get married to?
No, not yet. That's why that's why I feel I have autonomy and power to make the decision before.
I don't understand your question. So you want to be in a place so that you can get married and have kids with no influence on the kids from the rest of the world.
Yes, considering all the metrics and the influence of the metrics directly or indirectly.
Matrix?
I mean, all of the influence of all the society, and the, like the first sister asked today as well. So we know what the government and all the new world order and all the stuff would turn out to be in future, in near future, in 2-3 years, or let's say 5-10 years. So what should be the ideal place to migrate in? Because I heard that hadith as well, that near Akhira you should be migrating towards going yourself towards the more of the nature instead of the cities.
छोटा करके उर्दू में पूछे मुझसे.
मतलब मैंने वो हदीस भी पढ़ी हुई है कि जिसमें वो कहते हैं कि आखिरत जब करीब आने लगेगी तो आपको जो भी फितने हैं वो आप उसको समझ नहीं पाएंगे, तो यू बेटर लीव द सिटीज एंड मूव टू द ऑफ सिटीज एरियाज.
देन में ना अभी तक कोई इलाका भी नहीं आ रहा, मुल्क तो छोड़ें, कि जहां पे आपका सवाल का जवाब देते हुए मैं कोई नाम बता सकूं. उधर जाएं तो ये काम हो जाएगा. सो क्यों ना आप ये काम इंग्लैंड में शुरू करें. Okay, try and create your own sense of self, कि जिसके थ्रू आपको पता हो कि you know what, there's certain controls you're going to put inside your own home and your own self, and then याद रखना, अफगानिस्तान हो या सऊदी अरब हो या पाकिस्तान हो या साउथ अफ्रीका हो, there are certain strengths that England has, which for Islamic identity development, literally Muslim thought development, that Pakistan does not have. And there's certain things that Pakistan has that England does not have. Okay. So ये देखें कि आपका प्लान क्या है, 20 साल 25 साल का, आपकी उम्र कितनी है?
28.
ओके, अगले 10 साल का अपना प्लान बनाए और अगले 10 साल में 20 साल के बच्चों का प्लान बनाए ना, तो आपको पता चलेगा इंग्लैंड में भी कुछ चीजें हैं जो कि और कहीं नहीं मिलती, तो पहले वो तो ले लें। ठीक है, अपनी स्किल के लिए, अपने नॉलेज के लिए, अपने सर्टन साइकोलॉजिकल डेवलपमेंट एंड सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस के लिए, यू नो। सो फिर अगले 100 साल का प्लान बनाएं बच्चों के लिए कि अच्छा बच्चों को क्या मसले आएंगे, तो उसमें से क्या चीजें इस वक्त इंग्लैंड में मिल सकती हैं बच्चों को, certain groups of people, certain skills, knowledge, certain attributes that can be developed inside England. अफगानिस्तान तो खैर चलो अभी हाइब्रिड कैसे कहते हैं, एम्ब्रियो स्टेट के ऊपर आया, एम्ब्रियो स्टेट पे। तो उधर आपकी जरूरत तब है, आपने अपनी जरूरत पूरे करने नहीं अफगानिस्तान जाना, आपने अफगानिस्तान की जरूरत पूरी करने के लिए अफगानिस्तान जाना, अगर जाना है तो।
ये क्वेश्चन था, मतलब तो आइडियली इफ वी आर, मतलब हाउ प्रैक्टिकली वी कैन इम्प्लीमेंट, तो वो तो इस सोसाइटी में हम तो क्लस्टर वगैरह बना लेंगे, लेकिन प्रैक्टिकली इम्प्लीमेंटेशन तो नहीं हो सकती अनलेस अनटिल या तो पाकिस्तान को हम रिफॉर्म करें, उसके लिए भी एक लंबा प्रोसेस है। सो
I'm just talking to, इसलिए कह रहा हूँ पहले सेंस ऑफ सेल्फ क्रिएट करें ना, कि आप क्या कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं, तो what kind of knowledge you have right now, what kind of skill you have right now, that's when you choose कि अच्छा मैं इंग्लैंड छोड़ूं और कहीं जाऊं, कहीं और जाऊं। मुसलमान ना बद्दू होता है, याद रखिएगा। You are not going to put yourself in a certain fixed place. बच्चे हैं आपके, फिर तो आपने पूरी दुनिया को इस्तेमाल करें अपने बच्चों को डेवलप करने के लिए। Okay, every place has certain plus and strengths and weaknesses. Okay, so that's how you're going to actually look into it. Make sure you understand that. अभी मेरे ज़हन में तो नहीं, कोई शहर का नाम भी नहीं आ रहा, मुल्क तो छोड़े ना, कि जहां मैं कहूँ कि उधर जाएं और दुनिया से आजाद हो जाएं, ऐसा नहीं है अभी। किसी गांव बस्ती की बात तो चले मैं समझ सकता हूँ,
मतलब
मेन
I
सिटी।
don't think that hadith, I mean I don't know the authenticity of that hadith, but it is not the time to be implement, क्योंकि
हदीस पूरी नहीं पढ़े ना आप, कि कहाँ जाओ, मदीना छोड़ने की हदीस है कि वो ना छोड़ देना, फिर पहाड़ों पे जाने की हदीस है, दज्जाल आ गया हो। ठीक है, बेस्ट पीपल आर गोना कम फ्रॉम डमास्कस। ठीक है, तो सीरिया जाने की हदीस है, आप कौन सी हदीस की बात करें?
यही वाली पहाड़ों वाली हदीस है, जब दज्जाल आ जाए
तो अभी तो दज्जाल नहीं आया ना। You expecting दज्जाल anytime soon?
Yeah.
Then don't have babies then. Why are you getting married? So I'm just kidding, okay? I'm just saying कि फिर आप बच्चों की तरबियत की बातें क्यों कर रहे हैं? You should get married and have kids, okay? चाहे दज्जाल आ भी रहा हो तो। I'm just saying कि अपने आप को प्रिपेयर करें, इलाका फिर पता चलेगा कौन से इलाके में जाना है आपने, उस प्रिपरेशन प्लान के थ्रू पता चलता है कौन से इलाके में जाना है। साउथ अफ्रीका में भी जाना पड़ सकता है आपको लिटरली, ओके। बट इसलिए नहीं कि वो दुनिया का इन्फ्लुएंस, अब तो कोई ऐसा इलाका नहीं है दुनिया का इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं हो। यू नीड टू बी वेरी स्ट्रांग एज अ पेरेंट टू नो कि अच्छा यार दुनिया इन्फ्लुएंस करेगी तो बाहर में जाए दुनिया, मैं भी इन्फ्लुएंस करूंगा अपने बच्चों को, देख लेते हैं कितना दुनिया करती है कितना मैं करता हूँ, ओके। होम स्कूलिंग करने से दुनिया का इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं खत्म होता होता, बच्चों को छुपा के नहीं रखना होता। मुसलमान है हम, पूरी दुनिया में अफेक्ट करना है उन्होंने इंशाल्लाह सब, ओके। छुपा के रखेंगे दुनिया को अफेक्ट को, छुपे हुए मुसलमान डरपोक मुसलमान होते हैं, याद रखिएगा, ओके। Okay, I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Okay, thank you.
Gee, no problem, sir. No problem. Gee, Scotland. Scotland.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम भाई, कैसे हैं आप?
Salam from Scotland.
Really appreciate. You don't know how happy I am. I'm speechless. You don't know. You changed my life. I used to do. Yes, son. Go on, please.
India, Pakistan.
पाकिस्तान से, पठान।
Okay.
अगर कहेंगे पश्तो में बोलो तो पश्तो में शुरू हो जाऊंगा। I can speak Pashto, Urdu, English, Punjabi.
I know, it's okay. You can speak Scottish?
No, Gaelic, no. I moved here like 4 years ago. But alhamdulillah. I'm very happy to speak to you. You don't know. I just
me too.
Started
Me too.
You like last year, and मुझे बहुत अभी खुशी हो रही है. मैं excited सा भी हूँ और but
सवाल पूछे ना लोग लाइन पे. Thank you so much for such a kind gesture. अल्लाह ताला आपका खुलूस कायम रखे.
I want to ask you, मेरे बच्चे जो हैं वो पूछते हैं like क्रिसमस वगैरह लोग जब इधर सेलिब्रेट करते हैं तो कहते हैं तो I said हम नहीं सेलिब्रेट करते. So I don't say anything about that because I've been watching and listening to you, and you said don't put bad and अच्छा और बुरा भी ना बताओ जब होगा like later on. That's what I understand from your perspective, that जब age 12 से ऊपर जाएंगे तब उसको कुछ बताना. So वो क्रिसमस वगैरह क्या पूछते हैं कि हम तो मैं कहता हूँ हम नहीं सेलिब्रेट करते. We don't celebrate Christmas. और
yeah, you know what? Let me just pause here. Who was I talking to? Muhammad from Canada?
No, Fahad.
Yeah, no, I know. Your fault. Muhammad, are you with me?
Yes.
Awesome. See, this is a prime example. Christmas in the world, okay? Now, I'm not going to use mathematics and philosophy here, okay? With your question. But just because we believe that this does not exist, this whole concept of, Islam and Christmas nahi hai, but it does not change the fact that it is going to affect us. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm getting there. Yes.
Yeah. So this is where I was trying to get you at. Of course, no, this is not the best example, Christmas ka. But Fahad, let me just, आप मेरे साथ ही रहेगा Fahad. Christmas को आपने मनाना है कि नहीं मनाना, ये तो सवाल ही कोई नहीं है, ठीक है? क्योंकि मुसलमान तो क्रिसमस मनाते नहीं, चाहे वो साथ बैठे केक भी काट रहा हो, वो मना थोड़ी रहा होता है. समझे? आपके किसी रिश्तेदार को बहुत हसद हो आपसे, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, या अफसोस हुआ हो कि आप जीत गए हैं, और तो आपकी वो ट्रॉफी की सेरेमनी में तो आ रहा था, मगर वो मना नहीं रहा होता, वो ऐसे ही बैठा होता है. यू नो व्हाट आई एम सेइंग? तो मुसलमान क्रिसमस मना तो सकते ही नहीं, चाहे वो आप उनके साथ कहीं पे do whatever you're going to do there, you're not going to be celebrating it because you'll be just there. It's just that I always keep getting confused कि एक phenomena exist ही नहीं करता हमारे अंदर, मगर वो है हमारे सामने. Just because we don't think it exists does not mean that or just because I think something exists does not make it real. Okay, this is what Muhammad was asking about. कि मैं क्या करूं, कि किधर से मैं 0 को 1 करूं, 1 को 0 करूं. You know what I'm saying? Muhammad, you are coming through the realms of mathematics, right? Or no? No. Okay, it's okay if you're not. Don't worry. Let's not complicate everybody. जी फहद,
yes sir.
क्या चाहते हैं आप? क्रिसमस मनानी है आपने?
Oh no. I don't celebrate, but I do. What I'm saying is, am I going to? The way I just don't tell them कि हम नहीं करते, या that's not our part. So आया अभी उनको बताना चाहिए या नहीं बताना चाहिए कि ये like plus minus, like ये जो है ना, ये लोग believe करते हैं कि जी they are like 6 and 4 years old. So I'm not telling right now anything about I'm just saying that क्या ना, मैं ये चाह रहा हूँ कि आया उनको अभी बताया जाए या ना बताया जाए 12 साल के बाद कि ये हराम है या करना चाहिए कि नहीं. कुछ I need a guidance from you this side.
Listen, I have a totally different belief and take on this Christmas thing. I believe कि बर्थडेज मनाना प्रॉफिट्स की वैसे ही नहीं मनाना चाहिए हमें. We should not celebrate birthdays of any prophet because it adds into the box of religion. Okay, and there cannot be anything added in the box of religion. Al yawma akmaltu lakum dinukum. Okay, तुम्हारे लिए आज दीन मुकम्मल कर दिए. किसने? अल्लाह ने, उसके रसूल ने. यस. अब नई कोई चीज नहीं ऐड कर सकते हम. ये मेरी सिंपल कॉमन सेंस की बिलीफ है. अल यौमा अकमलतु लकुम दीनकुम. तो प्रॉफिट्स की बर्थडे बनाना असल में रिलीजन में एडिशन होता है. अब्बू की बनाना, अम्मी की बनाना, चाचू की बनाना रिलीजन में एडिशन नहीं होता. सो इट्स ओके इफ यू आर सेलिब्रेटिंग बर्थडेज ऑफ एनीवन एल्स.
I don't do.
And that's the extent of why I think we should not celebrate Christmas. Not because Christians are celebrating it, because we shouldn't celebrate birthdays of prophets.
Yeah.
Okay? That's it.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to tell every child. अब जो मुस्लिम क्लैरिक्स बोल रहे हैं, I don't agree to any one of them when they say कि क्रिसमस इसलिए नहीं मनाते क्योंकि अल्लाह ने कुरान में कहीं क्रिसमस मनाने का नहीं मना किया.
बिल्कुल.
Okay? अल्लाह ताला ने कहा है वला तकूलू सलासा, ट्रिनिटी ना बोलो. और इन्होंने अल्लाह का बच्चा बनाया हुआ, अल्लाह कोई बच्चा नहीं देता. उनके क्रिसमस मनाने से हज़रत ईसा अल्लाह का बच्चा नहीं हो जाती, उनकी अपनी बिलीफ में. ओके, वो कहते हैं कि अल्लाह ताला ने बच्चा पैदा कर दिया हुआ था, दुनिया में भेजा उसको 25 दिसंबर को. उनके दुनिया में भेजने से वो बच्चा नहीं हो गई, अल्लाह का बच्चा नहीं हो गई उनकी बिलीफ में. ओके, यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट. और अगर कोई बंदा ये कहता है कि नहीं क्रिसमस मनाने का मतलब ही अल्लाह का बच्चा बनाना है, नहीं, ये नहीं है उनका मतलब, हमें भी पता है. तो हम भी तो मिलाद नबी बनाते हैं. हम क्या इसलिए बनाते हैं कि नाउज बिल्ला हम भी वो वाला शिरक करते हैं? नहीं, वो बर्थडे इसलिए नहीं बना रहे कि वो अल्लाह का बच्चा उस दिन पैदा होने की वजह से हुआ है. नो, दे ऑलवेज से कि पूरी की पूरी डिजाइन ऑफ कायनात है वो हज़रत ईसा ने की है. कौन? और अल्लाह के बच्चे ने. तो दुनिया में क्यों है? दुनिया में वो वाकया ऐसा होना शुरू हो गया था कि अल्लाह ने फिर दुनिया में भेज दिया उनको. सिंपल, उनका प्रिंसिपल फिलॉसफी है. सो फिर जब भी कोई मुझे आलिम कहते हैं ना कि सर आप दोनों को कंबाइन करें, क्रिसमस मनाने की वजह से अल्लाह का बच्चा हुआ है, वो उनकी बिलीफ में, तो फिर मैं उनसे कहता हूँ कि फिर ठीक है, मैं क्रिस्टडेल्फियंस को मेरे क्रिसमस बोल दिया करूंगा, क्योंकि वो तो नहीं मानते कि हज़रत ईसा अल्लाह का बच्चा है. क्रिश्चियंस हैं वो कहते हैं अल्लाह का आखिरी नबी है, बस इनके बाद कोई नबी नहीं आएगा. क्रिस्टडेल्फियंस स्कॉटलैंड में बहुत है बाय द वे. ओके, पूरे इंग्लिश बेल्ट में बहुत है. आयरलैंड में है, स्कॉटलैंड में है, इंग्लैंड में है, या और यूनिटेरियंस भी नहीं मानते कि ईसा अल्लाह का बच्चा है, वो भी क्रिसमस मनाते हैं. तो उनके साथ और पाकिस्तानी मुसलमानों के साथ एक ही सलूक होना चाहिए कि यार ठीक है, तुम मना रहे हो, मिलाद ही मना रहे हो नबी का, ईसा का मना रहे हैं ना, वो तो नबी मानते हैं ना. ये दोनों क्रिश्चियंस के जो फिरके हैं वो बड़े हैं बाय द वे, ये तो नबी मानते हैं. तो ये तो वही वाला काम है जो कि मुसलमान पाकिस्तान में बर्थडे मनाते हैं ना, ईद मिलाद नबी मनाते हैं. तो अगर उनको क्या, ईद मिलाद नबी वालों को हम ये नहीं कहते ना कि ओए ईद मिलाद नबी मनाना तो शिरक है, तो हम भी कभी भी नहीं कहते ईद मिलाद नबी मनाना शिरक है. शिरक तो नहीं कहते ना, बिदअत ही कहेंगे ज्यादा से ज्यादा. एग्जाम्पल अगर डालनी है कहीं पे, तो वो भी बिदअत ही कर रहे हैं. वो क्या अपने दीन की क्या वो एडिशन कर दी उन्होंने. ओके, सो आई नीड यू टू अंडरस्टैंड क्रिसमस को देखना कैसे. क्रिसमस को देखना ऐसे है कि उनका एक रिचुअल है जिसमें वो भी अपने नबी का वो अपने जो रेगुलर क्रिश्चियन है वो तो खैर अल्लाह का बेटा ही मानता है ना. ठीक है, स्कॉटलैंड इज क्या प्रोटेस्टेंट्स है, तो वो कहते हैं अल्लाह ही जमीन पे आ गया. कैथलिक्स कहते हैं अल्लाह ने बेटा जमीन पे भेज दिया. तो मुसलमान बच्चों को ये पता होना चाहिए सब चीजें जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ, ताकि उनको पता हो कि अच्छा यार ठीक है, दिस इज वन ऑफ योर रिचुअल्स, बट दैट इज नॉट वन ऑफ द थिंग्स दैट वी शुड डू, बिकॉज वी डोंट सेलिब्रेट बर्थडेज ऑफ द प्रॉफिट्स, एनी प्रॉफिट्स. ओके, मुस्लिम्स शुड टेल क्रिश्चियंस दैट यार हम अपने नबी की बर्थडे नहीं मनाते, हम तुम्हारे नबी कैसे मनाते. ठीक है,
बिल्कुल.
इट्स नॉट अबाउट मी सेलिब्रेटिंग इट, so I'm not celebrating it, but you guys are all celebrating it, so okay, I'm gonna buy cheap candies because this is Christmas season. Is gonna be sale all over the place. That's all. Okay.
अगर आप इजाजत
That's it.
दें तो लाइक वो अरसलान भाई ने जिस तरह आपसे पूछा उनकी तरह मैं भी कंफ्यूज था तो लाइक आई वांट टू से to help that my brother I was confused as well but the moment I start Sira and I start telling my son small bit of it and I do agree आप कहते थे कि छोटा छोटा बताओ उनको थोड़े पार्ट बताओ don't tell them to my son so ये आपकी
बच्चों
बात
को
हाँ जी अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह मुझे लाइक 3 months में बहुत ज्यादा ये सिर्फ मैंने आपको सुना है और आपके साथ अभी बात की है बहुत फर्क पड़ा है like my life is totally changed and I know what you mean by 24 hours Muslim we need a 24 hours Muslim not 5 part time I would say part time Muslim जो 5 वक्त नमाज पढ़ी और बाहर निकले तो गाली गलौज भी कर दी नमाज पढ़ने के बाद so I know what you mean जैसे सुबह उठ के हर वक्त सोचना it's changed my life so there are lots of people who's listening they might be confused so that's why I'm helping them out as well through you
Yes,
you are as well
yeah.
I'm one of your listeners that's what I was trying to do and part of the kung fu side or martial arts I was finding a little bit difficult they are still young 6 and 4 but what I did I way the fine playing with them like hide and seek police and bad guy and show them the move how to move the martial arts now they are getting what मैं आपका सारा समझता हूँ लाइक आपने बोला कि उनको कंग फू सिखाओ what I'm trying to do is here there will be lots of young parents like me was confused they need to just stop the sira and उनको भी बताएं बच्चों लोगों को भी it will be easy for them to understand तो ये बात है मैं अपना बता रहा हूँ कि मैं भी कंफ्यूज था पर no more confusion I know where you brought us up like जिधर आप हमें खींच के लाए हैं और आपने मेरे में वो डाली कि 24 मुसलमान और दूसरे बच्चों का अब मैं जब भी बच्चों को देख रहा होता हूँ मुझे वो आपकी एक वीडियो मैंने देखी थी आप बच्चों को प्यार करते हैं मुझ में भी वो चीज आ गई है I know where you're coming from and it's just I have listened to Al-Hijazi Makki हाँ ये मैंने आपको बताना था उनकी भी आपकी बातें सेम एज उन जैसी हैं वो अरब में मक्का में उन्होंने इमामत की थी तो लाइक यू एंड उनकी बातें और आपकी बातें सेम है वो फोत हो चुके हैं
I get it. Thank you for such a reassuring everybody.
really appreciate
This
and
means a lot. No, really appreciate your presence, sir. Thank you.
I will
Thank
keep
you.
us time to time and I will be keep listening to you. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
बहुत
Thank you.
शुक्रिया बहुत खुश रखिए अल्लाह
Assalamualaikum.
सलाम
ठीक वालेकुम सलाम औसाफ
अस्सलाम वालेकुम
अस्सलाम कोई क्वेश्चन सर लास्ट क्वेश्चन है आपका
मेरा बस क्वेश्चन नहीं है मैंने थोड़ी सारी स्टोरी
आपकी आवाज बहुत कम आ रही है
मैं कह रहा हूँ मेरा कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है मैंने बस एक थोड़ी सारी स्टोरी शेयर करनी है
रुकें मैं क्वेश्चन ले लूं अंबर
Assalamu alaikum.
अस्सलाम
Actually, my question is my youngest daughter. She says that Islam is a very boring religion.
अंबर
Hello?
जी अंबर so she said Islam is boring okay
Ji. And she's
That's
6 years old. She's 6 years old.
yeah so तो लेक्चर दे रही हैं आप इस्लाम के
नहीं लेक्चर ऐसा नहीं है लेकिन वही बात है कि
बोर क्यों हो रही है
अब
ऐसा क्या उसको बताया जो उसको बोरिंग लगा इस्लाम का क्या बताया उसको मुझे बताएं जरा मैं आपकी बेटी का नाम क्या है
ज़ारा
ज़ारा जी ज़हरा
ज़ारा
ज़ारा तो मैं ज़ारा हूँ जरा मुझे बताएं क्या बताती हैं आप इस्लाम का
एक्चुअली मैं अगर आपको थोड़ा सा बताऊं तो आपको क्लियर हो जाएगा।
Actually,
जैसे
मैं
अभी
जा रहा हूँ मैं जा रहा हूँ, बताएं ना जरा।
देखें, अभी जैसे पहले क्वेश्चन हुआ था क्रिसमस के हवाले से,
कोई देखे
हैलोवीन के
ज़रा।
हवाले से। ओके।
Yeah, I want to see how parenting is being done in where are you, Australia?
नो, यूके।
Okay, England.
जी।
Okay. So, what does Zara know about Islam? कि पहले से उसको आपने बोर कर दिया इस्लाम में, बताएं ना जरा।
यही है ना चीजें, जैसे हम क्रिसमस नहीं सेलिब्रेट कर रहे, हैलोवीन नहीं कर रहे, अब वो अपनी क्लास में होता है, बर्थडेज हैं, ये सब चीजें हैं। तो इस वजह से उसको लगता है, जबकि हम अपनी तरफ से बहुत कोशिश करते हैं कि जब ईद हो, रमजान हो, तो हम उसको मतलब एक उनके लिए एक सेलिब्रेशन हो, रमजान जो है और ईद जो है वो हो। लेकिन आई थिंक उनको क्लास से, स्कूल से इतना ज्यादा इन्फ्लुएंस मिल रहा है कि उन्हें ये लग रहा है कि हम उस तरह से अपने बाकी फेलोज की तरह, लाइक शी सेज दैट आई एम नॉट फिटिंग
In Islam?
इन द कल्चर वेयर शी इज लिविंग।
Yeah, listen, Amber, how old are you?
जी जी, आई एम 35।
35. So, yeah, that's your only child?
नहीं, मेरे दो बड़े बच्चे हैं, एक बेटी एक बेटा।
Okay. So, आपके बच्चों के जो क्लास में बेस्ट परफॉर्मर्स हैं, whoever they are, do you know their names?
बेटे की क्लास में मुझे पता है, लेकिन बेटी का भी इतना खास, मतलब शी इज वन ऑफ द
Oh,
बेस्ट
बेटे को
परफॉर्मर्स
छोड़े ना.
ऑलवेज।
No, let's not talk about that. I'm talking about the kids in their class, right? Whoever your child is. Didn't you know who's the smartest child in, what's your son's name or daughter's name other than Zara?
सलमान एंड जुनेरा।
Salman. How old is he?
सलमान इज 9 years।
9. Okay. Who's the eldest? Zunera?
जुनेरा, या शी इज 11 and a half।
What class does she go into? Fifth
She
grade?
no,
Fourth
she's
grade?
in year 7. Zunaira is
Year
in year
7?
7. Salman is in year 4, and Zara is in year 2.
What do you mean year 7? Oh, okay. Okay. So who's the best performer in Zunera's class? Smartest child?
उन्होंने मुझे आज ही नाम बताया था, एक लड़की है, मेरे जहन से निकल
7
गया।
साल 11 साल में पहली दफा बताया उन्होंने। क्यों? अंबर, क्या नाम बताया?
बेटी का
ना अंबर, आपकी जुनैरा की क्लास की टॉपर कौन है ये बताएं।
ग्रेस, ग्रेस नाम है लड़की का।
ओके, ग्रेस। ओके। और सलमान की क्लास का बेस्ट स्पोर्ट्समैन कौन है?
सलमान हिमसेल्फ।
ओके, व्हाट स्पोर्ट इज ही प्लेइंग? फुटबॉल?
जी, फुटबॉल।
ओके। सो डज नो सलमान नो कि फुटबॉल में ज्यादा परफॉर्म करेगा तो कितना अच्छा मुसलमान हो सकता है वो?
No, I don't think so.
See where the problem is? And does Zunaira know कि ग्रेस की तरह अगर वो परफॉर्मेंस देगी तो कितनी अच्छी मुसलमान बन सकती है वो?
No, I don't think so that she knows that as well.
Yeah, that's why Islam is boring ना, क्योंकि इस्लाम सिर्फ रिचुअल्स और इंस्ट्रक्शंस मैनुअल बना रहे हैं हम पेरेंट्स के तौर पे बच्चों को दे जा रहे हैं। ये नहीं करना, वो करना है, वहां पे गुनाह है, वहां पे जन्नत है, वहां दोजख लगी हुई है, वो भी ना सेलिब्रेट करो, ये भी ना जाओ, उधर भी ना करो। इस्लाम की डेफिनिशन एट्रीब्यूटल है, याद रखिएगा, एट्रीब्यूटल है। और वो एट्रीब्यूट्स इंसान के अंदर अल्लाह ने पहले ही डाले हुए, हम पेरेंट्स का काम है उनको खाली पॉलिश करना। सो अगर सलमान स्विमिंग करता है तो उसको बताएं, यू नो व्हाट, तुम ट्वाइस का काम कर रहे हो, ट्वाइस। फुटबॉल में एक काम हो रहा है, ठीक है, स्विमिंग में 2 काम हो रहे हैं, क्योंकि फुटबॉल सुन्नत नहीं है, स्विमिंग तो सुन्नत भी है, मगर दोनों स्पोर्ट्स एक खास एट्रीब्यूट बना रहे हैं आपके, फिजिकल डेवलपमेंट कर रहे हैं आपकी। एंड अ फिजिकली डेवलप्ड मुस्लिम इज बेटर देन अ फिजिकली अंडरडेवलप्ड मुस्लिम। ओके, इस्लाम इस लेवल पे एट्रीब्यूट स्ट्रक्चर आपको बना के दे रहा है। बच्चों को उस एंगल से इस्लाम सिखाएं जिसमें उनको उनकी एप्लीकेशन ऑफ इस्लाम उनको नजर आ रही हो। दे शुड बिकम बेटर मुस्लिम्स एवरी सिंगल डे। नबी इस्लाम ने शाह फरमाया कि आपका आज का दिन गुजरे हुए दिन से बेहतर नहीं है, तो आप इस्लाम समझ नहीं है आपको। हाउ आर वी गोना जनरेट 24 आवर इंप्रूवमेंट प्लान इन इस्लाम? 24 आवर में क्या इंप्रूव होता है? योर ब्रेन, योर बॉडी, योर पर्सपेक्टिव, योर नॉलेज, योर स्किल, योर एट्रीब्यूट्स। ये है पेरेंटिंग प्लान फॉर ऑल मुस्लिम्स वेयर दे आर। जिनके बच्चे हैं उनको पता होना चाहिए बच्चों को इस्लाम पे लाना है, तो इस्लाम के एट्रीब्यूट्स दिखाने हैं उनको, तब कहीं जाके सीरा की स्टोरी समझ आएगी कितनी बड़ी अचीवमेंट थी। क्यों स्विमर, आप स्विमिंग करती हैं अंबर?
नो।
लग पता जाएगा आपको जब आप पहली दफा स्विमिंग करेंगी कि भाई ये तो जान जोखिम में डालने वाला काम है। पहली बात तो बहुत करीब चाहिए थी नई नई स्विमिंग सीखने के लिए, डुबकी लगती है तो समझ आती है कि स्विमिंग क्या चीज है। मगर जब आपको डूबने का खतरा खत्म हो जाता है और जब आपको लैप्स करने पड़ते हैं ना 12-14, ठीक है, और वो भी अच्छे साइज के पूल में, तब आपको पता चलता है आम बंदे और अच्छे स्विमर में फर्क क्या है। जमीन आसमान का कॉन्फिडेंस डेवलप होता है आपको ऐसे। आप यू लुक अप टू दैट बिग स्विमर और फास्ट स्विमर, फील कोई एलियन है। यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड। और ये हुक्म है मुसलमानों को तैराकी सीखना, स्विमिंग सीखना हुक्म है, आपको पता है इस बात का?
जी।
शूटिंग सीखना, तैराकी सीखना हुक्म है। You see how Islam is incorporated as the most exciting thing to be in this planet. इस्लाम इतने एट्रीब्यूट्स और स्ट्रक्चर्स को तोड़ तोड़ के दे रहा है कि आओ इस्लाम के अंदर और डेवलप करो अपने आप को। ये याद रखिएगा, ये पेरेंटिंग के एंगल बता रहा हूं मैं आपको। नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ टू डेवलप इस्लाम इनसाइड किड्स, एंड दैट्स टू डन थ्रू द माइंड एंड द बॉडी। सारी इस्लाम, जिस्म भी इस्लाम मांग रहा है, दिमाग भी इस्लाम मांग रहा है, जहन भी इस्लाम मांग रहा है, दिल भी इस्लाम मांग रहा है। इमोशनल साइड पे भी आऊंगा मैं अभी, फिक्र नहीं करें। well not tonight but I'm just saying, आपको खाली एंगल और डायरेक्शन देना मकसद है ना, बाकी तो आप खुद you can put two and two together। You're a married woman, 35, you said 30 in England। मैंने आपको वो एंगल और पर्सपेक्टिव दे रहा हूं कि आपके बच्चों को पता चले कि हर रोज इस्लाम है, यस, हर रोज एक्साइटिंग, यस, हर रोज मैं ज्यादा बड़ा मुसलमान हो रहा हूं, यस। यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड। हम जिस एंगल से इस्लाम दे रहे हैं वो भाग जाएंगे इस्लाम, आपके सामने फिर मुसलमान होने की एक्टिंग करेंगे, दोस्तों में जाने का वेट कर रहे होंगे कि मैं इस्लाम से दूर जा रहा हूं, मुझे इस्लाम नहीं बर्दाश्त हो रहा। ये हो रहा है हमारे बच्चों के साथ। अभी तो नहीं हो रहा आपके बच्चों के साथ, मगर सुपरस्टिशियस किस्म की एक बिलीफ सिस्टम रखी हुई हमारे बच्चों ने, अमेरिका में, इंग्लैंड में, पाकिस्तान में, इस्लामाबाद में भी, कि इस्लाम को पता नहीं एक अजीब सा एक बबल सा बनाया हुआ है कि यार इधर जाना पड़ता है, चुप रहना पड़ता है, यहाँ पे खुसर पुसर में बात करनी पड़ती है, ठीक है, और बहुत एहतियात से हर वक्त एक खास तहजीब का मुजाहरा, खास हंस भी नहीं सकते, रो भी नहीं सकते, बल्कि रोना फिर बेहतर है इस्लाम में, इनके ख्याल से, अम्मी के ख्याल से। हंसना नहीं है, बदतमीजी में आ जाएगा, कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं कर सकते किसी से, इंटेलेक्ट ना बढ़ जाए, क्वेश्चन करना बदतमीजी है। ये इस्लाम हम प्रेजेंट करें अपने बच्चों को। उन्होंने इस्लाम, सबसे बड़े दुश्मन हमारे अपने बच्चे बन जाने इस्लाम के, बिकॉज आपके टाइम के ऊपर उस लेवल पे आप 8 साल की थी, यूट्यूब ट्रेन नहीं थी आप, ठीक है। ये बच्चे यूट्यूब इंटरनेट ट्रेंड है, इनको वहां से दूसरी तरफ से पूरा एक्साइटमेंट का सैलाब आता है। वो सब इस्लामिक एट्रीब्यूट्स रखे होते उन्होंने सिवाय फलसफे के, ठीक है, और बड़ा गन साथ लेके आते हैं, मगर इस्लामिक एट्रीब्यूट्स हैं उसमें। यही तो कह रहा हूं, अमेरिका में फायदे बहुत है, इंग्लैंड में फायदे बहुत है इस्लाम के। प्लान लॉक होना चाहिए और पता होना चाहिए निकालना क्या है। एक ही स्विमिंग, क्या उसे कहते हैं, कुआं है, उसके अंदर कुछ गलत चीजें भी है, कुछ अच्छी चीजें भी हैं। फंस गए हम तो अच्छी चीजें तो निकाले ना। You need to understand how kids are going to fall in love with Islam। अगर आपको पता हो कि इस्लाम प्रेजेंट कैसे करना है, as a parent to a child, to and then a pre-teen and then a teen, मेंटल डेवलपमेंट के लिए सबसे बड़ी अपील इस्लाम ने दी है, सबसे बड़ी अपील कि ऊपर देखो आसमान की तरफ, अल्लाह ताला कहीं जा रहे, ऊपर देखो, तुम्हें बताओ निशानियां, देखते क्यों नहीं हो, ढूंढ क्यों नहीं रहे हो निशानियां? इससे बड़ा स्कैवेंजर हंट है कोई माइंड के लिए? सोचे जरा, इससे बड़ा कोई कोई ट्रेजर हंट है माइंड के लिए जो इस्लाम कुरान पाक में दे रहा है कि ऊपर निशानियां देख, यू आर गोइंग टू ग्रो मिलियन टाइम्स इन IQ। वो बैठे नासा में बैठ के पहुंच गए, हम उनको वी आर लुकिंग अप, वो दे आर लुकिंग अप टू द हेवंस व्हेन वी आर लुकिंग अप टू नासा। लिटरली हम नासा वालों को ऐसे देख रहे हैं कि कितनी बड़ी चीज है ये साइंसदान, ठीक है, और वो ऊपर अब मार्स को देख रहे हैं। अल्लाह हमें कह रहे हैं कि ऊपर देख, तुझे दिखाऊं, इस्लाम दिखाऊं तुझे। सो ये मैं इसे सिंपल कैसे बताऊं, बट सोचें सही। You see what I'm hoping you understand what I'm saying here, कि हर
जी।
चीज में से इस्लाम का एट्रीब्यूट निकालें और प्रेजेंट करें बच्चों को, और उनको इस्लाम की उस एक्साइटमेंट से नवाजें कि हाँ तू ज्यादा मुसलमान हो गया, आज ज्यादा इंप्रूव्ड मुसलमान हो गया तू, योर टुडे इज बेटर देन योर यस्टरडे, तूने हदीस पूरी कर दी है। ओके, सो ये तमाम
जी
चीजें अल्लाह ताला ने कहा तुझे तेरे अंदर दिखाऊंगा सारी चीजें, फिक्र क्यों करता है? तो दिखाते हैं ना अपने बच्चों को। आपके समझ नहीं, स्विमिंग क्यों मुस्ताहब तरीन खेल है? तीरंदाजी क्यों है? शूटिंग क्यों है? क्या होता है इससे? स्विमिंग से ऐसा क्या हो रहा है? ऑफ कोर्स फिजिकल कैपेबिलिटी है आपकी, आपको कंट्रोल आता है। इस स्विमिंग से बेहतर कोई एक्सरसाइज नहीं है जिस्म की, याद रखिएगा। तो आई एम अ स्विमर ना, सो आई नो। आपके
बच्चे
जिस्म
करते
का
हैं।
एक एक मसल डेवलप करती है स्विमिंग, हॉर्स राइडिंग भी और स्विमिंग भी। ठीक है, लगता है ना घोड़े पे बैठा है बंदा कुछ भी नहीं कर रहा, नहीं, जो करते हैं हॉर्स राइडिंग उनको पता चलता है। मुझे भी पता तभी चला था जब मैंने शुरू की थी कि कोई एक मसल नहीं पुल बचा जो पुल ना हुआ हो। एक एक मसल डेवलप होता है हॉर्स राइडिंग से, वो भी अगर आप आपको सही गैलपिंग सिखा दिए किसी ने तो आप तो मतलब खत्म हो जाते हैं अगर आप। और स्विमिंग में भी ऐसे ही है, ऑफ कोर्स हॉर्स राइडिंग इज वे टफर, बट स्विमिंग इज द फाइनेस्ट एक्टिविटी फॉर अ मुस्लिम। अब ये खाली मैं फिजिकल एट्रीब्यूट्स की बात बता रहा हूँ। अब मेंटल एट्रीब्यूट्स तो इस्लाम का खासा है, सेंट्रल एट्रीब्यूट्स है हमारे मेंटल एट्रीब्यूट्स, जो कुरान पाक को यार मैं मसल लेके तो नहीं कुरान खोलूंगा ना, मैं दिमाग का मसल खोलूंगा कुरान से। सो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द ग्रेस in Zunaira's class is using her brain more. She's a way better Muslim if she were to be in Islam. That's how Zunaira should be looking at grace. क्या ये अगर मुसलमान होगी तो मेरे से आगे जन्नत के अगले दर्जों में होगी, क्योंकि ये वो काम कर रही है जो मुझे काम है। That's when she's going to score well in mathematics and STEM fields. ये फिरौन को मैंने मारने हैं आजकल के। See, that's how Islam is done. That's how parenting is done in Islam. That's how Islam is done by parents for their kids. So it's that kind of strategy that's going to work. ये पुरानी strategy हम fail जिन्होंने भी की हमारे साथ। हम भी इस्लाम को वही समझते हैं, खाली चुप हो जाओ, सारे खामोश हो जाओ, और वाकई बोरिंग करके दिया ना, माने तो सही। हमें भी लगता
जी
था
ऐसे ही
कि
है।
यार क्या करूं मैं, कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते, बात भी नहीं कर सकते किसी से।
एग्जैक्टली।
तो और मैं आपको भी यही ज़हन में आया होगा, ज्यादातर अम्मियां जो रब्बू सुन रहे हैं उनके ज़हन में यही आया होगा, हाँ बच्चा ठीक ही कह रहा है ना। और नहीं, बच्चा गलत कह रहा है, बच्चा असल में ठीक कह रहा है बिकॉज अम्मी ने गलत किया हुआ है, तो उसके लिहाज से तो ठीक कह रहा है। हमें भी यही मिला था। ठीक है, ये हमारे जितने भी अंकल्स और बाबेस थे ना, जितने भी, जब मैं छोटा था तो मुझे याद है मेरी अम्मी के नाना जो थे, ओ माय गॉड, वो घर आते थे ऐसे कांप रहे थे हम कि आएंगे और नमाज पढ़ी है जी, पढ़ी है, दोबारा पढ़। क्यों दोबारा पढ़ू?
एग्जैक्टली।
क्यों दोबारा पढ़ू? नहीं बस बच्चे हैं तो बस बच्चों पे टॉर्चर करके इस्लाम में डालना। सो इट्स दैट काइंड, बच्चा भी इस्लाम से डर जाता है लिटरली। और वो अंकल्स ने क्या करना होता है, अपना वो एक बिगेटरी भी पूरी कर, नमाज सुनाओ। अब नमाज से सुना रहे हैं, गलतियां निकाल रहे हैं अंकल। क्या बच्चे को ये तो देखो 99% नमाज ठीक सुना रहा है, वो एक गलती नहीं, ये गलती है तुम्हारी। वो इसलिए बताना चाह रहे हैं कि वो अंकल को नमाज बहुत अच्छी आती है। ठीक है, आप ठीक है, आपको अच्छी नीयत भी आपकी, तो काम तो आपने गलत ही किया है। बच्चे को ये देखें कि बच्चे को नमाज समझ कितनी आई हुई है। नहीं, हम सबको नमाजें रटवाई गई हैं, हम सबको पता है नमाज रटवाई है, बस किसी को भी नहीं पता नमाज में किसी चीज का भी मतलब, जो भी पाकिस्तान में बच्चे बड़े हो रहे। सोचें, मैं एक जगह गया हूं और एक भाई साहब लेक्चर दे रहे हैं कि नमाज में उर्दू में कुछ नहीं बोल सकते। ये कहां से कॉन्सेप्ट निकाला इसने, नमाज में उर्दू में कुछ नहीं बोल सकते। आप अल्लाह से बात कर रहे हैं, नमाज में जो खास फराइज हैं वो अरबी में अपने बोलने हैं। आप तशहुद में बैठे हुए हैं तो दुआएं मांगे उर्दू में, किसने मना किया आपको? ये पाकिस्तान में कॉन्सेप्ट है कि नमाज में तशहुद में उर्दू या अंग्रेजी में कोई दुआ ना मांग ले। ये सोचें, ये पाकिस्तान में हमें ये सिखाया जा रहा है इस वक्त। तो अल्लाह अल्लाह भला करे मेरे अरब उस्ताद का। मेरे अरब उस्ताद ने मुझे फोर्स किया कि तू अरबी में क्यों दुआएं मांगता है जब तशहुद में बैठता है? ऐसे व्हाई नॉट? इसे तेरी इंस्टिंक्ट से उर्दू की है, तो उर्दू में दुआ मांग, कनेक्शन तेरा ज्यादा बेहतर लगेगा। जो अरबी के फराइज हैं वो कुरान के हिस्से हैं, वो तो नहीं तू उर्दू में बोल सकता, मगर दुआ किस लिए तू अरबी में मांगने की कोशिश कर रहा है? और पाकिस्तान में आए हो, पाकिस्तानी मौलवी साहब मुझे कह रहे हैं, हाय अल्लाह इस्तग़फ़ार, तूने नमाज तो खराब कर दी, तूने दुआएं उर्दू में क्यों मांग ली? ये पाकिस्तान के हालात हैं, तो लोग नमाज क्यों पढ़ेंगे? नमाज के बाद दुआएं मांग रहे होते हैं पाकिस्तानी। नमाज खत्म हो गई, दुआओं का टाइम शुरू हो गया। बेहतरीन टाइम नबी इस्लाम ने बताया नमाज का क्या है। इंसान के ऊपर जो बेहतरीन टाइम आता है नमाज का, पता क्या होता है? दुआ का। जब आप दरूद शरीफ पढ़ चुके होते हो तशहुद में, उसके बाद आपकी पीक शुरू होती है कि अब आप दुआ मांगे। ये कॉन्सेप्ट से आ रही है। पूरे पाकिस्तानी इंडियन कौम नमाजें पढ़िए बगैर उस स्वीट स्पॉट को, उस परफेक्ट जोन को मिस कर देती है। क्या करें, हर बंदे को फिर जॉर्डेनियन, लेबनीज, कतरी, क्या उसे कहते हैं, अरेबियन और सासा एलोकेट कराए जाए कि यार इनको बेसिक्स सिखा देना, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान में तो उलमा भी बेसिक्स नहीं हुए ना, यहाँ पे आके मिस कर जाते हैं। एक छोटे बच्चे की बात बताऊं, पेरेंट एज अ पेरेंट, नमाज में उर्दू में दुआ नहीं मांग सकते, फतवा लगा रहे हैं बैठ। क्यों, किसने कहा कि नमाज में तो उर्दू में दुआ नहीं मांग सकते? जरा आप मुझे कहीं से लिखा हुआ बताएं। आपने भी पहली दफा सुना अंबर ये? आई होप नहीं है ऐसा, इसका जवाब नहीं है। सो मेक श्योर यू अंडरस्टैंड कि मैं बच्चों को इस्लाम में दाखिल करने की, इतने बड़े दरवाजे खोलने की बातें कर रहा हूँ। बच्चे इस्लाम में दाखिल हो, हमने क्या किया है, छोटा सा एक दरवाजा वो बंद करके रखा हुआ है कि बच्चा इस्लाम में ना आ जाए किस तरीके से। वो आ भी गया तो सांस बंद हो जाएगी उसकी, वो खुद ही नहीं आना चाहेगा। इतने छोटे छोटे गुम्बद में नहीं कोई रह सकता। इस्लाम से बड़ा कोई कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं है। और वो गोरे नॉन मुस्लिम्स बैठे हैं, पूरी सांस की दवाइयां ईजाद कर रहे हैं, जैसे हमें एजमा है, और लिटरली एजमा ही है बच्चों को। वो दे रहे हैं हमें इनहेलर्स कि ये लो मुसलमानों, तो बच्चों तुम्हें सांस बंद की हुई तुम्हारे माँ बापों ने और तुम्हारे बुजुर्गान ने, ये लो इनहेलर ताकि तुम्हें सांस आए। और बच्चे भाग रहे हैं, हाँ सांस नहीं आ रही। तो फिर इसलिए कि हमें इस्लाम का कख नहीं पता, लिटरली बेसिक्स नहीं पता हमें। सो इट इज सच अ, मैं आपको बताऊं, मेरे मुफ्ती इब्राहिम साहब मेरे उस्ताद थे, और यमनी हो। ही यूज्ड टू आस्क मी क्लास, मतलब पैट क्वेश्चन था, दुआएं कौन सी मांगी है नमाज के बीच में, लिटरली। एंड आई यूज्ड टू टेल हिम, ऑफ कोर्स इंग्लिश में बता रहा था, उनको तो नहीं उर्दू आती थी ना। एंड ही सेड, इंग्लिश में तो नहीं मांग रहा है सर? नहीं, उर्दू में मांग रहा हूं। जी उर्दू में दुआएं मांग रहा हूं, सो दैट ही वुड नो कि बच्चा कनेक्ट करे अल्लाह से। क्योंकि मुझे जिस तरीके से उर्दू में दुआ मांगनी आती है, वो मैं क्यों अंग्रेजी या अरबी में, वो तो मैं अरबी और अंग्रेजी में तो लिंग्विस्टिक्स के ऊपर फोकस करूंगा। उर्दू में तो मुझे पता भी नहीं है कि जबान कौन सी मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना, क्योंकि मैं तो कॉन्सेप्ट के ऊपर फोकस करूंगा। He knew exactly how to capture the heart of the child, connect that heart with Allah Azza wa Jal. And by the way, उनके लेवल का स्कॉलर, उनकी अपनी लाइफ में खुद अरब यमनीज कहते थे कि नहीं, इस वक्त मुफ्ती इब्राहिम जैसा बंदा नहीं। wrote more than 30 different books on totally different topics, जो कि उनकी तफसीर अरब में चलती, शरा चलती है। तो उनको कोई और ही इस्लाम, वो अरब में रहने के बावजूद एक नॉन अरब को फोर्स करेंगे भाई तो अपनी इंस्टिंक्ट्स प्रैक्टिस कर। और यहाँ पे हम अजम में अजमी बैठे हुए हैं, और बस वो रस्सी बांध के रखा हुआ है कि दिमाग ना बड़ा हो जाए, दिल ना खुल जाए तेरा। सो इट्स अ बिग प्रॉब्लम।
Yes, it is.
It's a very very big problem. Okay, so पेरेंट्स को मैं बता रहा हूँ कि बच्चों को इस्लाम में दाखिल करने का बेहतरीन तरीका इस्लाम है। ओके, पाकिस्तान नहीं है। मेक श्योर इस्लाम के
जी,
एट्रीब्यूट्स को समझे, इस्लाम खुद बच्चों को अपने पास खींचेगा। ओके,
इंशाल्लाह।
इंशाअल्लाह हफीज।
जज़ाकल्लाह।
बारकल्लाह फीकुम। May Allah be with you.
आमीन,
May Allah be with all of us and the
आमीन,
kids.
आमीन,
अल्लाह ताला हम सबको दीन के अंदर बड़े काम करने की तौफीक और कबूलियत अता फरमाए।
आमीन सुम
अस्सलाम
आमीन।
वालेकुम। जज़ाकल्लाह खैर। अस्सलाम वालेकुम व रहमतुल्लाह एवरीवन। अस्सलाम वालेकुम व रहमतुल्लाह व बरकातहू।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
सलाम।